Chapter 1898. A few moments later, Imo Qingyun, led by Gu Yang and the others, arrived at the registration area for the alchemist trial. This was the entrance to a huge valley, and at the entrance of the valley was an ancient transportation array. Not far from the teleportation array, there were two huge stones, one green and one gold, radiating two different colors of light. Sacred Herb Valley? Imo Qingyun frowned when he saw the stone tablet at the entrance of the valley. He was puzzled, no matter how he looked at it. The valley in front of him didn't look like a place for the alchemist trial. In Imo Qingyun's opinion, the alchemist trial should be held in a huge square that could accommodate countless people. Seeing Imo Qingyun's puzzled expression, Gu Yang immediately guessed Imo Qingyun's thoughts. Qingyun, you may not know, but the alchemist trial is divided into two parts: herb seeking and alchemy. It is slightly different from ordinary alchemy competitions, and because of this, it is called the alchemist trial. So that's how it is. After listening to Gu Yang's explanation, Imo Qingyun's face lit up. Pointing at the transportation array, he said, "It seems that this sacred herb valley is the place to collect herbs." That's right. In response to Imo Qingyun's conjecture, Gu Yang nodded affirmatively. He pointed at the two boulders and said, "The two boulders at the entrance of the Sacred Medicine Valley are the age-measuring boulder and the pill-concealing boulder. They're used to measure the age of the participants' bones, as well as the pill recipes they need to sense. Only those who meet the requirements for both are qualified to participate in the alchemist trial." So complicated. Hearing Gu Yang's explanation, Imo Qingyun was stunned. He didn't expect the alchemist trial to have so many rules. Because of this, Imo Qingyun's attitude towards the alchemist trial became even more serious. Hearing Imo Qingyun's surprised words, Gu Yang revealed a faint smile. The bone age test is a test of talent and potential. Whether or not one obtains pill recipes from the pill-concealing stone determines whether or not one can enter the Sacred Herb Valley. It seems that the pill formulas in the hidden pill sacred stone are the keys to the Sacred Medicine Valley. After listening to Gu Yang's explanation, Imo Qingyun revealed a puzzled expression. You can understand it that way, but not entirely. Gu Yang nodded, then shook his head and said, "The pill formula in the hidden pill sacred stone is not only related to whether one can enter the Sacred Medicine Valley, but also whether one can collect the herbs." "What do you mean?" Imo Qingyun was puzzled. He was very curious about Gu Yang's words. Under Imo Qingyun's gaze, Gu Yang pondered for a moment before replying, "Because the medicinal herbs in the Sacred Medicine Valley are covered by the Sacred Medicine Valley's array formation, only the pill formulas in the Sacred Medicine Stone can be collected. If you try to forcibly collect the medicinal herbs in the Sacred Medicine Valley, you will be killed by the Sacred Medicine Valley's array formation." So that's how it is. After hearing Gu Yang's explanation, Imo Qingyun's face lit up. This way, we can prevent the participants from crazily harvesting the herbs in the Sacred Herb Valley. Exactly. Seeing that Imo Qingyun understood, Gu Yang smiled faintly and nodded. He pointed to a high platform in front of them and said, "Let's go register first, then wait for the Pill Master Temple's elders to call our names." All right. Hearing Gu Yang's words, Imo Qingyun nodded and flew up to the stage with him. Soon, Imo Qingyun finished registering and waited for the Pill Master Temple's elders to call their names. Next, secluded Sky Mountain's ocean stream, Ziling. After the first person was done, the Pill Master Temple's elders called out a name to the crowd. As soon as the elders' words fell, a purple-haired youth moved and flew to the side of the sacred stone. Standing in front of the sacred stone, the purple-haired youth condensed a surge of immortal spiritual force and sent it into the green boulder. As soon as the immortal spiritual force entered the green boulder, the boulder immediately shone brightly and revealed the shadow of a sapling. As soon as the shadow of the sapling appeared, it began to grow rapidly and became a towering tree in the blink of an eye. At the same time, a number appeared above the tree's shadow. 4,325. This meant that the purple-haired youth's bone age was 4,325 years old. The test is complete. Ziling's bone age is 4,325 years old. Qualified. Seeing the results of the Sacred Stones test, the Pill Master Temple's elders announced the results. The bone age test is complete. Next, let's sense the trial pill formula from the Sacred Stone. Hearing the elders' words, Ziling immediately walked to the Sacred Stone and released a surge of soul force. She sent her soul force into the hidden pill god stone, then closed her eyes and stood quietly in front of it. After a short while, the Sacred Stone began to bloom with a dazzling light. In that dazzling light, a scroll-shaped shadow appeared. This was the trial pill formula Ziling had obtained. As soon as the pill formula emerged from the Sacred Stone, it turned into a stream of light and flew into Ziling's hands. After receiving the pill formula, Ziling did not stay any longer and immediately returned to the side of the stooped old man. Next, Phoenix Mountain Village, Zhuaming. Seeing that Ziling's test was complete, the Pill Master Temple's elder shouted again and called out the next name. This time, the person being tested was a cold-looking woman, like a venomous snake with long thorns. Hearing that she was being tested, Zhuaming's figure moved and flew to the front of the Sacred Stone. Soon, Zhuaming and Ziling successfully passed the test twice. Next, everyone was tested one by one. During this time, some were tested successfully, while others failed. Next, Cloud Sky City, Mo Qingyun. After some time, it was finally Mo Qingyun's turn. Hearing the elder call out his name, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and came to the front of the Sacred Stone. It's that kid. It said that he's the disciple of the Pill Demon Ancestor. His talent must be very scary. What do you think his bone age is? Will it reach 5,000? He's only a golden immortal of the great all-embracing heaven. In my opinion, his bone age should not be more than 3,000. Some people who knew Mo Qingyun saw that Mo Qingyun was being tested and immediately began to talk. The size of this kid's bone age will determine his value. Looking at Mo Qingyun in front of the Sacred Stone, Ziling's eyes darkened and a cold smile appeared on her face. In her opinion, the younger Mo Qingyun's bone age, the greater his potential and the greater the merit of killing him. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Mo Qingyun condensed a burst of immortal spiritual power and blasted it into the Sacred Stone. Soon, the Sacred Stone shone brightly and a sapling shadow appeared in it. However, to everyone's surprise, the sapling shadow did not grow and there was no movement for a long time. Looking at this scene, everyone had the same thought. Chapter 1899. Under everyone's shocked gaze, the number 32 appeared on the shadow of the sapling. Seeing such a number, everyone was even more shocked. They thought their eyes were playing tricks on them. 32? His bone age is only 32 years old? This can't be real. He's only cultivated for 30 years, and he's already a Daluo Golden Celestial and a 5-star alchemy master. This is too scary. It seems like this kid's true identity is most likely the reincarnation of a powerful being from the Antiquity Age. Seeing Mo Qingyun's bone age, the crowd was in an uproar. 32 years old. Such a terrifying cultivation talent. He's even more terrifying than the 3 guys in the clan. Knowing Mo Qingyun's bone age, Ziling's face immediately turned cold. A murderous look flashed in her eyes as she said, "With this kid's terrifying talent, if I get rid of him, it is very likely that I will be promoted to Holy Son." 332 years old. Seeing the number on the Sacred Stone, Mu Junting's eyes widened. He was completely stunned. At this moment, he finally understood how monstrous the person he had provoked was. Hiss! What a terrifying cultivation speed. Seeing Mo Qingyun's test results, the elders of the Pill Master Temple all sucked in a breath of cold air. After a while, an elder said in a deep voice, Mo Qingyun's bone age is 32 years old. He passes. Next, sense the pill formula for the trial. Hearing the elder's words, Mo Qingyun turned around and walked towards the pill repository Divine Stone, sensing the pill recipes stored within. Coming to the front of the Sacred Stone, Mo Qingyun released his soul power and carefully penetrated it. As soon as his soul power penetrated the sacred stone, Mo Qingyun found light spots flashing with lines of text. These light spots were the pill formulas he wanted to sense. Realizing that these light spots were the pill formulas, Mo Qingyun immediately controlled his soul power and began to observe them. Great Spirit Golden Pill Formula, 5-star Immortal Pill Formula. The Supreme Glorious Sun Spirit Eyes Immortal Pill Formula was a 5-star Immortal Pill Formula. Xianqing Dao Yang Spirit Formula, 7-star Immortal Pill Formula. Under Mo Qingyun's perception, the pill formulas of various immortal pills appeared in his mind. In addition, he also discovered that the brighter the light spot, the higher the grade of the pill formula, and vice versa. After a short while, under Mo Qingyun's observation, he discovered that there were only 5-star, 6-star, and 7-star pill formulas. Choose a 6-star immortal pill or a 7-star immortal pill. Mo Qingyun was very clear in his heart that if he wanted to compete for first place in the Alchemy Master Trial, concocting 5-star celestial pills was definitely not enough. As for concocting 6-star celestial pills, although it was easier to collect the pill formulas, it was also very easy to concoct them. However, if one wanted to obtain first place in the Alchemist Trial, there would still be many risks involved. However, if he were to choose a 7-star immortal pill, not only would it be extremely difficult to obtain the pill recipe, Mo Qingyun was also not completely confident that he would be able to refine it. This was going to be troublesome. Let's go all out. I'll choose the 7-star celestial pills pill formula. If I don't succeed, I'll die trying. After some intense thought, Mo Qingyun finally decided to try refining the 7-star immortal pill. If he succeeded in refining the pill, there would be no doubt that he would be able to obtain first place in the Alchemist Trial. After Mo Qingyun made his decision, he did not waste any more time and immediately tried to sense the 7-star pill recipe. Under Mo Qingyun's probing, one of the flaming pill formulas formed a close connection with him. Then, a flaming scroll appeared above the hidden pill divine stone. Withdraw. Seeing that the pill formula had been successfully sensed, Mo Qingyun waved his hand and collected the pill formula. After obtaining the pill formula, Mo Qingyun's silhouette flickered as he appeared beside Gu Yang and the others. Now that they knew Mo Qingyun's bone age, the way Robotion and the rest looked at him changed drastically. A golden immortal of the great, all-embracing heaven was not scary. However, the bone age of a golden immortal of the great, all-embracing heaven was only 32 years old. This was extremely frightening. Mr. Mo, what pill formula did you collect? Robotion asked curiously as he looked at Mo Qingyun with a complicated expression on his face. When he heard Robotion's question, Mo Qingyun did not hide anything. He answered truthfully, the 7-star immortal pill, the Genesis Flame Golden Pill. 7-star immortal pill. When he heard Mo Qingyun's answer, Robotion's eyes widened. He thought he had misheard. After a brief moment of surprise, Robotion looked dejected. He sighed and said, Mr. Mo, I know that your cultivation talent is very high, and you have a great advantage in sensing pill formulas. However, the higher the grade of a pill formula, the better it is. Why? When he heard Robotion's words, Mo Qingyun looked curious and immediately asked him. When he heard Mo Qingyun's words, Robotion calmed down and said, the pill formula that you collected will be the pill that you will be refining next. The difficulty of refining a 7-star immortal pill is really sigh. When he saw Robotion's reaction, Mo Qingyun understood what Robotion was thinking. Robotion thought that he could not refine a 7-star immortal pill. Mo Qingyun did not explain. After all, he would find out when the time came. When Mo Qingyun was thinking about this, Robotion's expression turned cold. He said, Mr. Mo, although your cultivation level is not high on the surface, your strength is outstanding. When you enter the Sacred Medicine Valley, you can snatch a 6-star immortal pill formula. I can snatch a pill formula. When he heard Robotion's words, Mo Qingyun could not help but be stunned. He was extremely surprised by this situation. He had not expected that a competition between immortal alchemy masters could also use force to snatch a formula. Since it is a trial, there will naturally be competition. When he saw Mo Qingyun's surprise, Roba Tian smiled faintly and said, "Also, when you enter the Sacred Medicine Valley, you have to be careful of the demon beasts in the valley. During each trial, many immortal alchemy masters will die inside." It seems like this so-called alchemy master trial is also very cruel. When he heard Roba Tian's words, Mo Qingyun immediately had a new understanding of the alchemy master trial. While Mo Qingyun and the others were talking, many more people were being tested. Some people failed, while others succeeded. Time passed little by little as everyone was being tested. After about 3 days, all the participants of the Alchemy Master Trial had completed their innate talent tests. When he saw that all the participants had been tested, an elder from the Alchemy Master's Sacred Hall walked out and said, "Since everyone has been tested, the Alchemy Master Trial will officially begin. Everyone, enter the Sacred Medicine Valley." As soon as the elder finished speaking, he nodded at the other elders in acknowledgement. Chapter 1900. You only have a month to enter the Sacred Medicine Valley. You will be automatically teleported out at that time. An elder from the Sacred Hall of Alchemists opened the transportation array to the Sacred Medicine Valley and gave a few more instructions. Therefore, you must hurry up and collect the ingredients. If you're unable to do so, you will not be able to participate in the next round of the alchemy competition. The Alchemy Master's test really has a lot of tricks up its sleeves. Mo Qingyun's understanding of the Alchemy Master's test reached a whole new level after hearing the elder's words. Judging from the current situation, the scope of the Alchemy Master's test was truly incomparable to that of an ordinary test. While Mo Qingyun was sighing with emotion, Gu Yang's expression turned solemn as he reminded Mo Qingyun, "Qingyun, once you enter the Sacred Medicine Valley, all you need to do is activate the pill recipe in your hand, and you will be able to sense the location of the ingredients. This will greatly increase the efficiency of your search." I didn't expect this pill recipe to have such a use. Mo Qingyun was immediately surprised by Gu Yang's words. He hadn't expected that the pill recipe would have such a use. Gu Yang smiled faintly at Mo Qingyun's surprise and patted Mo Qingyun's shoulder. "All right. The transportation array to the Sacred Medicine Valley has been opened. You can enter with the rest." "All right." Mo Qingyun nodded and turned into a blur as he followed the crowd into the Sacred Medicine Valley. Once he entered the Sacred Medicine Valley, a dense, immortal spiritual force enveloped Mo Qingyun. What a dense, immortal spiritual force. It's at least 100 times denser than on the Wasteland continent. Mo Qingyun's heart trembled as he sensed the density of immortal spiritual force in the Sacred Medicine Valley. He instinctively thought to himself, "If I were to cultivate here, my cultivation speed would probably be 100 times faster than on the Wasteland continent. It's a pity that I don't have the time to cultivate here." Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. Unwilling to stop, he prepared to venture deeper into the Sacred Medicine Valley. "Kid, hand over your pill formula, and I'll give you a quick death." Just as Mo Qingyun took a step forward, an old man with a scar on his face appeared in front of him with a cold smile. Looking at this knife-scarred old man's posture, it seemed like he was planning to snatch his pill formula. This old man's cultivation wasn't low, and he was at the 4th level of the 9 Heavens Xian Immortal Realm. Judging from his performance, Mo Qingyun was definitely no match for him. Isn't that Mo Qingyun? He seems to have been targeted. What's so strange about that? That kid's cultivation is only at the Golden Immortal stage. Of course, he's everyone's first choice for prey. This is something you don't know. Although Mo Qingyun's cultivation level is low on the surface, his strength is not to be underestimated. More importantly, Mo Qingyun is the disciple of the demonic pill patriarch. Finding trouble with him is the same as seeking death. That old man seems to be the Deadwood medicine fiend. This guy really doesn't know what's good for him. He actually dared to have ideas about Mo Qingyun. Looking at the situation on Mo Qingyun's side, The crowd immediately whispered and revealed an expression of waiting to watch a good show. Haha, interesting. Someone made a move so quickly. Seeing that someone had made a move on Mo Qingyun, Ling revealed a playful smile and stood at the side with her arms crossed. He wasn't interested in the pill formula in Mo Qingyun's hands. What he was interested in was how to deal with Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun is too ostentatious. He'll definitely attract everyone's attention when he enters the sacred medicine valley. Mu Junting, who was following behind Mo Qingyun, saw this scene and immediately thought, it'll be great if someone can get rid of Mo Qingyun. I won't have to be on tenterhooks anymore. In Mu Junting's opinion, the matter of him instigating Yu Yang was completely exposed. With Mo Qingyun's temperament, he would definitely take revenge on him. It was just that he didn't know when. If Mo Qingyun was killed now, it would be great news for him. Idiot! Seeing Deadwood Herb Fiend's actions, a trace of ridicule flashed in the eyes of the woman named Meng. Then, she revealed an interested look and carefully observed Mo Qingyun. Seeing the actions of the people around him, Mo Qingyun's mouth slightly curled up. He looked at Deadwood Herb Fiend with an indifferent expression and said, "Old man, don't you know that the bird that pokes its head out gets shot? It's not a wise choice for you to jump out in such a hurry." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Deadwood Herb Fiend's expression twitched and his eyes immediately glanced around. Mo Qingyun's words were true. Because of his actions, he suddenly became the focus of everyone. He was sure that once he killed Mo Qingyun, he would definitely become the target of public criticism. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but regret. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have made a move on Mo Qingyun. He didn't expect that a perfected golden immortal would attract so many people's attention. If Deadwood Herb Fiend knew that Mo Qingyun had dealt with a Saint Stage expert before coming to the Sacred Medicine Valley, his mood would be even worse. His mood would probably worsen, and he would regret making a move on Mo Qingyun even more. Boy, hand over your pill formula, and this old man will spare your life. How about it? Deadwood Herb Fiend hesitated for a moment and decided to make a concession to Mo Qingyun, but he didn't want to give up on snatching the pill formula. Upon hearing Deadwood Herb Fiend's words, the smile on Mo Qingyun's face deepened, and he said with a faint smile, "How about this? Hand over your pill formula, and I'll spare your life. How about it? Boy, are you daydreaming?" Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Deadwood Herb Fiend couldn't help laughing out of anger. He sneered and said, You better understand the situation. It's this old man who's trying to snatch your pill formula, not the other way around." Daydreaming? Upon hearing Deadwood Herb Fiend's words, the surrounding people frowned. They felt that there was some ambiguity in his words. Everyone was puzzled, and their gazes shifted to Meng in unison. Upon seeing everyone's gaze on her, Meng's pretty face immediately turned cold and emitted a chilling, killing intent. Mo Qingyun and Deadwood Herb Fiend had actually humiliated her for no reason. This kind of thing was absolutely unforgivable. Subsequently, a ninth heaven profound immortal realm aura was released from Meng's body. "Both of you go to hell," Meng shouted. Her figure moved and charged towards Mo Qingyun and Deadwood Herb Fiend. Seeing Meng charging towards him, Mo Qingyun was puzzled. He didn't understand why Meng was so angry. Although he was puzzled, Mo Qingyun didn't hesitate and immediately distanced himself from Meng. Mo Qingyun quickly dodged, but Deadwood Herb Fiend wasn't so lucky and was immediately approached by Meng. Azura Butterfly Dance. Arriving at Deadwood Herb Fiend's side, Meng pulled out a curved blade and domineeringly slashed at Deadwood Herb Fiend. A terrifying, dark, immortal spiritual energy blasted out from Meng's curved blade and transformed into a blood-colored butterfly shadow. As soon as the butterfly shadow appeared, it surrounded Deadwood Herb Fiend and transformed into Azuras. Subsequently, these Azuras brandished their curved blades and instantly killed Deadwood Herb Fiend. One had to admit that Deadwood Herb Fiend's death was really unjust. He didn't even know how he died. Chapter 1901. As soon as Meng finished speaking, she flew up like a butterfly and approached Mo Qingyun at an extremely fast speed. When Meng flew towards Mo Qingyun, she once again waved the curved blade in her hand and decisively slashed at Mo Qingyun. Azura Punishment Heaven. Under Meng's brandishing of the curved blade, it immediately bloomed with silver light and gathered streaks of fierce lightning. The terrifying silver-white lightning circled around Meng's curved blade and blasted towards Mo Qingyun. Immediately, streaks of lightning descended from the sky and blasted towards Mo Qingyun. Looking at the lightning that blasted towards him, Mo Qingyun did not dodge and allowed them to hit his body. With his physical body that was comparable to a sacred artifact, Meng's lightning attack was unable to cause him any harm. Seeing Mo Qingyun being swallowed by the lightning, the surrounding people were all stunned and could not react for a long time. Could the battle be over just like that? This woman's strength is so terrifying. She can fight against a 7th-level Xian immortal in the 9 heavens. Facing such a terrifying existence, Mo Qingyun really has no ability to resist with his little cultivation. A peerless genius in cultivation has fallen here just like that. What a pity. Seeing Mo Qingyun's end, a wave of pity rose in everyone's heart. Presumably, in their opinion, with Mo Qingyun's cultivation, it was impossible for him to withstand Meng's attack. Mo Qingyun was killed just like that. Seeing Mo Qingyun being swallowed by the lightning, Mu Junting's expression trembled and his heartbeat immediately sped up. He was just thinking that it would be good if Mo Qingyun died in the Sacred Medicine Valley, and the result immediately came true. Could it be that the heavens were protecting him? The more Mu Junting thought about it, the more nervous he became. Even his body began to tremble. His eyes stared fixedly at that ball of lightning. However, he quickly rejected this possibility as he realized a very important point. He said in a low voice, "No. With Mo Qingyun's strange methods, even High would find it hard to deal with him. He couldn't have been killed so easily. He must have something to rely on if he dares to do this." Mu Junting and Mo Qingyun had crossed swords several times, and each time, Mu Junting had suffered a crushing defeat. He was very clear about Mo Qingyun's ability. He didn't believe that Mo Qingyun could be killed so easily. If Mo Qingyun could be killed so easily, then he wouldn't be Mo Qingyun. When Mu Junting was worried about Mo Qingyun's life, Ziling was also in the same mood. Dead? Seeing Mo Qingyun engulfed by the lightning, Ziling's expression immediately tensed up, and a look of regret appeared on her face. If Mo Qingyun had died like this, she wouldn't have been able to kill Mo Qingyun with her own hands, and her plan to be promoted to the Holy Sun would have been ruined. If I had known this would happen, I would have killed that kid before the Deadwood Medicine Fiend made his move. The more Ziling thought about it, the more regretful she felt. She felt that she had missed an opportunity to become a dragon. Under everyone's gaze, the lightning that engulfed Mo Qingyun began to dissipate little by little. When the lightning completely dissipated, Mo Qingyun, who had been engulfed by the lightning, reappeared in everyone's line of sight. When everyone saw Mo Qingyun's appearance, they were all stunned and rubbed their eyes desperately. They weren't mistaken. Not only was Mo Qingyun not dead, but he also didn't look injured at all. How is this possible? How can Mo Qingyun not be injured at all? The power of Meng's blade just now was something that even a 9 heavens Xian immortal realm expert wouldn't be able to withstand. How'd he do it? As expected of someone who even a Saint realm expert couldn't easily kill. This guy is really a monster. What? You said a Saint realm expert attacked him, and he still managed to survive. At this moment, everyone's minds were in chaos when they saw Mo Qingyun's performance. This kind of thing had already exceeded their scope of understanding. This guy really won't die so easily. Seeing Mo Qingyun unscathed, Mu Junting's expression twitched, and the uneasiness in his heart grew even stronger. If Mo Qingyun didn't die, his situation would be bad. Unlike Mu Junting's worries, Ziling immediately revealed a pleasantly surprised smile when she saw Mo Qingyun was fine. She said, "That's great. This kid is actually still alive. Since God has given me a second chance, I can't miss it again. Not dead? You're really lucky." Seeing Mo Qingyun unscathed, Zhuomeng's pretty face revealed a shocked expression. Her gaze immediately turned cold as she shouted, "Humph. I like to see how long you can survive under my blade." Zhuomeng shouted. Her delicate figure flashed and once again charged towards Mo Qingyun. "Miss, I don't seem to have any enmity with you, right? Why do you have to kill me?" Looking at Zhuomeng, who was attacking again, Mo Qingyun had a puzzled expression on his face and asked her in return. Zhuomeng's background was very great. Unless it was a last resort, he didn't want to attack Zhuomeng. He came to the immortal desolate domain to find the pill formula of the nine heavens nirvana creation pill, not to make enemies. Therefore, before he found the pill formula of the nine heavens nirvana creation pill, he would avoid some enmity. Pretending to be crazy and asking the obvious. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Zhuomeng shouted and quickly waved the scimitar in her hand. Under Zhuomeng's wave, the immortal spiritual energy on the scimitar rolled and condensed into an azure shadow. Sword array rise. Facing Zhuomeng's powerful attack, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to be careless. He immediately took out 16 ancient swords. The 16 ancient swords immediately formed a sword array and attacked the azure shadow. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Under the tyrannical bombardment of the ancient sword, the azure phantoms that were attacking him were immediately dispersed one after another. After neutralizing Zhuomeng's attack, Mo Qingyun quickly distanced himself from her and said coldly, "Miss, I've tolerated you time and time again, but you're so unforgiving. Aren't you being too unreasonable?" "I'm unreasonable?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Zhuomeng immediately became angry. She glared at Mo Qingyun with her beautiful eyes wide open. This guy was too despicable. How could she say such words? Thinking of this, Zhuomeng's face flushed red with shyness. Seeing Zhuomeng's blushing face, Mo Qingyun's heart skipped a beat. He knew why Zhuomeng wanted to kill him. He said, "Miss, you want to kill me? Don't tell me it's because of Ku Mu's words. You're still talking?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Zhuomeng's face immediately turned red. She glared at Mo Qingyun with her beautiful eyes. If she couldn't wait to cut Mo Qingyun into pieces. This guy still wanted to talk about it. Knowing the reason why Zhuomeng attacked, Mo Qingyun's doubts were resolved. He laughed and said, "Miss, if you want to kill me because of this, I'm afraid I can't let you do as you wish. I'll take my leave." Mo Qingyun didn't want to stay any longer. His figure moved and was ready to leave. Chapter 1902. As soon as the figure finished speaking, he took out a short sword and swung it at Mo Qingyun. As the man waved the short sword, it immediately blossomed with purple light and turned into several purple pythons. Hiss! The purple pythons opened their mouths and kept flicking their tongues, emitting a cold aura. Because the purple pythons were too fast and too close, Mo Qingyun couldn't dodge in time. "I can't dodge. I can only take it head-on." Looking at the purple pythons attacking him, Mo Qingyun's expression turned serious, and he punched at the purple pythons. Mo Qingyun clenched his fists, and immortal spiritual energy surged on his fists, carrying a powerful saint aura. "Get out of my way!" Mo Qingyun punched out, and his body turned into a stream of light, crashing into the purple pythons like a meteor. Then, Mo Qingyun and the purple pythons collided, and a deafening explosion erupted. Bang! Following a deafening sound, a dazzling purple light blossomed in midair. After being hit by Mo Qingyun's punch, the purple pythons attacking Mo Qingyun were all dispersed in an instant. After destroying the purple giant palm that was blocking his way, Mo Qingyun didn't stop and immediately dodged into the distance. Soon, Mo Qingyun shook off Zhuomeng and the other person. He glanced at them coldly and said, "Both of you, I will remember the hospitality you've shown me today, and I will repay you double in the future. Shadow Dragon Transformation. As Mo Qingyun spoke, his figure suddenly grew several times bigger and turned into a black dragon shadow. Then, Mo Qingyun swung his dragon tail and disappeared from everyone's sight. So fast. This speed is almost comparable to a Saint Realm expert. This guy's strength is terrifying. Two 6th level 9 Heaven Xian Immortal Realm experts joined forces, but he still managed to escape unscathed. As expected of someone who can survive from a Saint Realm expert, you can't treat him with common sense. Everyone was shocked when they saw Mo Qingyun disappear. They could not help but sigh with emotion. Mo Qingyun actually managed to escape. This is going to be troublesome. Seeing Mo Qingyun's figure disappear, Mu Junting's expression trembled, and the fear in his heart immediately intensified. Now that Mo Qingyun had escaped, it would be extremely difficult to deal with him again. Most importantly, if Mo Qingyun didn't die, he would definitely find trouble with him. Stop right there, you pervert. Looking in the direction Mo Qingyun had fled, Zhuameng shouted and quickly chased after him. Seeing Zhuameng's actions, Ziling's expression changed. She clenched the dagger in her hand and said, "This damn kid, his body is too strong. Some attacks derived from magic and magic can't hurt him at all. I need to use a sacred weapon to attack him directly." After fighting with Mo Qingyun, Ziling had a clearer understanding of Mo Qingyun's physical strength. After this discovery, Ziling's gaze became even colder. She gritted her teeth and said, "Humph. You can't escape, kid. I've never failed to kill anyone I set my mind on." Ziling muttered to herself. She didn't stay any longer and chased in the direction Mo Qingyun had escaped. Seeing that Mo Qingyun and the others had left, the others did not stay any longer and dispersed into the interior of the Sacred Medicine Valley. The only one who couldn't leave was the Deadwood Herb Fiend, who was killed by Zhuameng. This guy died in vain. Under the effect of the Shadow Dragon transformation, Mo Qingyun's speed was extremely fast, and he soon left Zhuameng and the others behind. Arriving at a quiet valley, Mo Qingyun stopped and returned to his human form. He said, "Since I've left Zhuameng and the others behind, I'll collect the materials for alchemy first. It won't be too late to deal with Ziling and the others after I get first place in the alchemy trial." Mo Qingyun's thoughts were clear. His purpose in coming to the immortal wilderness realm was to heal Qian Linglong's injuries. Zhuameng, Ziling, and the others could not escape. It would not be too late to deal with them one by one after he got the recipe for the Nirvana elixir of creation. Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. He took out the elixir recipe and released his immortal spiritual power to activate it. Soon, the elixir recipe shone brightly and formed an illusory map. This map described the terrain of the Sacred Medicine Valley in detail. The materials that Mo Qingyun needed for alchemy were also marked in detail on the map, indicated by a red line. With this map as a guide, it's much easier to find the herbs. Looking at the map of the elixir recipe, Mo Qingyun's face lit up and he became excited. Without this map, he did not know how long it would take him to find the materials slowly. One should know that the 7-star elixir that he made required hundreds of materials. The Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain is the closest to me. I'll go there first to collect the Snow Dragon Ice Grass. Mo Qingyun analyzed the map and did not waste any more time. He immediately set off for the Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain. On the way to the Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain, Mo Qingyun did not use the flying boat of the Shinjo clan. He just flew at his own speed. He knew from Guiyang that the flying boat of the Shinjo clan was precious, so he did not dare to expose it. If the flying boat of the Shinjo clan attracted the attention of countless experts, it would be troublesome. Next, Mo Qingyun flew towards the Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain at a steady pace. There's a lot of space in the Sacred Medicine Valley. Mo Qingyun flew for half a day before he arrived at the Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain. At a glance, it was a boundless white world. Even the grass and trees here were white. The Snow Dragon Ice Grass usually grows in the ice layer. It should be at the top of the Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain. After analyzing the characteristics of the snow dragon ice grass, Mo Qingyun began to guess where the snow dragon ice grass might grow. When Mo Qingyun thought of this, he no longer hesitated and immediately flew towards the peak of the Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain. As he flew towards the top of the Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain, the frost energy in the air became more and more terrifying. It was as if it was going to freeze Mo Qingyun. What a terrifying frost energy! Sensing the frost energy around him, Mo Qingyun's expression became more serious. He could not help but sigh. As expected of the materials for the 7-star elixir, it's not easy to collect them. I hope I didn't come here in vain, Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. He did not stop and continued to fly toward the top of the Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain. After about 15 minutes, Mo Qingyun arrived at the top of the Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain. He began to scan every corner of the mountain. What made Mo Qingyun depressed was that there was not a single blade of grass on the top of the Hidden Dragon Snow Mountain. Nothing? When he saw what Mo Qingyun saw, Mo Qingyun was dumbfounded. He was unwilling to give up and scan the mountain again. Chapter 1903. Could it be that the snow dragon ice grass grows in the ice cave? Looking at the bottomless ice cave, Mo Qingyun guessed and released his soul power to observe the ice cave. Under Mo Qingyun's observation, he found that there were many plants that looked like ice sculptures growing in the ice cave. Mo Qingyun was not sure whether these plants were the snow dragon ice grass. He still needed to identify them carefully. In that case, I'll enter the ice cave to explore. With that thought, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, and he flew into the ice cave. As soon as he entered the ice cave, Mo Qingyun sensed a bone-piercing chill assaulting him. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun immediately circulated his immortal spiritual power to resist the attack of the cold. While resisting the attack of the cold, Mo Qingyun also flew towards the bottom of the ice cave, slowly approaching the ice sculpture plants. Not long after, Mo Qingyun arrived near the ice sculpture plants and tried to collect them with the elixir recipe. Unfortunately, when Mo Qingyun tried to collect them with the elixir recipe, the ice sculpture plants did not have the slightest reaction. In other words, the ice sculpture plants in front of him were not the snow dragon ice grass he was looking for. The spiritual power fluctuations of these ice sculpture plants are almost comparable to that of a 5-star immortal pill. They should be ingredients for refining a 6-star immortal pill. Sensing the spiritual power fluctuations of the ice sculpture plants, Mo Qingyun immediately revealed a look of surprise and regret. It's a pity that I can't collect them. Otherwise, it would be a big gain. Mo Qingyun silently lamented in his heart. He didn't stay any longer and continued to fly down the ice cave. Along the way, all kinds of ice sculpture plants appeared in front of Mo Qingyun's eyes. As Mo Qingyun continued to go down, the spiritual power fluctuations of the ice sculpture plants also became stronger and stronger. The power of ice at the bottom of the ice cave seems to have weakened a lot compared to the top. Seeing this situation, Mo Qingyun could not help but feel surprised. This situation was completely different from what he had imagined. Originally, he thought that the deeper he went into the ice cave, the colder the temperature should be. As a result, when they reached the bottom of the ice cave, the temperature rose quite a bit. The erosion of the power of frost had weakened, and Mo Qingyun's flying speed had also increased a lot because of this. On the way down, Mo Qingyun also constantly activated the pill recipe, trying to collect the ice sculpture plants along the way. However, the result was still the same. None of the ice sculptures on his way down had any reaction at all. This meant that they were not snow dragon ice grass. Just like that, Mo Qingyun unknowingly arrived at the bottom of the ice cave. Arriving at the bottom of the ice cave, Mo Qingyun's expression became tense, and he began to search carefully. He had already arrived at the bottom of the cave. If he still couldn't find the snow dragon ice grass, then his several hours of hard work would have been in vain. Refining the Genesis Fired Imperial Flame Golden Pill required a total of more than 100 types of materials. Just this one alone took nearly a day. If this continued, it would be very difficult for him to gather all the alchemy materials, and he would have no chance to participate in the second round of the alchemy competition. This can't go on. We have to speed up the search. While Mo Qingyun was pondering, he didn't stay idle either. He circulated his soul force and quickly searched the bottom of the cave. Very quickly, the entire bottom of the ice cave had been searched by Mo Qingyun. Not to mention the snow dragon ice grass used to refine the Genesis fire to imperial flame golden pill. Even ordinary ice sculptures were rarely seen. Could it be that my guess was wrong? Snow dragon ice grass doesn't grow here? After turning the bottom of the cave upside down and still not finding the snow dragon ice grass, Mo Qingyun began to doubt his own guess. Just as Mo Qingyun was doubting, a weak wave of cold current attracted his attention. There seems to be a very strong flow of cold air below this ice surface. Walking to the ice layer of a cold pond, Mo Qingyun's face revealed a surprised expression. He quickly guessed in his heart, could the snow dragon ice grass be below this cold pond? Since I've already come here, there's no need to dive into the cold pond. After thinking for a while, Mo Qingyun immediately made a decision. He planned to pry open the ice layer and explore. Following that, Mo Qingyun clenched his fist and punched towards the ice layer on the surface of the cold pond. Pung! Under Mo Qingyun's punch, the ice layer immediately shattered and spiderweb-like cracks appeared. After shattering the ice layer with one punch, Mo Qingyun moved the ice away and jumped into the cold pond. After entering the cold pond, Mo Qingyun's face immediately revealed a surprised expression. He looked around in shock. One by one, they saw ice sculptures of plants swimming freely in the water like aquatic creatures. As these ice sculptures swam, their bodies constantly changed shape. Some took the form of fish, some took the form of prawns and crabs, and some took the form of turtles. So there are so many high-level ice sculptures in the cold pond. Looking at the ice sculptures around him, Mo Qingyun's face revealed an excited expression. He immediately activated the pill formula in his hand and said expectantly, "It seems that the snow dragon ice grass is very likely to be here." As the pill formula was activated by Mo Qingyun, it immediately emitted a dazzling light and produced a weak traction force. It's in that direction. Feeling the traction force of the pill formula, Mo Qingyun's face lit up and he immediately swam forward. As Mo Qingyun continued to swim, he discovered that on the ground at the bottom of the pond, there were many ice sculptures built. Looking at the appearance of these houses, they seemed to be the living quarters of the ice sculptures, which made Mo Qingyun feel as if he had entered a world of ice sculptures. As Mo Qingyun swam, a huge ice palace appeared in his line of sight. When he arrived in front of this huge ice palace, the reaction of the primordial fire emperor flame golden pill formula became even more intense. It's here. Looking at the reaction of the Genesis fire golden flame pill formula, Mo Qingyun put away the pill formula and confirmed that the snow dragon ice grass was here. Mo Qingyun's figure moved and quickly swam towards the ice palace, preparing to go ahead and collect the snow dragon ice grass. Stop! Just as Mo Qingyun approached the ice palace, two ice sculptures in the shape of lobsters blocked his path. These two ice sculptures in the shape of lobsters were at the third level of the Nine Heavens Xian immortal realm, and their bodies emitted a powerful chill. It seems that the snow dragon ice grass has occupied this place and is the king of the mountain. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun's mouth curled into a smile as he understood the general situation. He thought to himself, it seems that if I want to collect the snow dragon ice grass, I have to clear out these ice sculptures. Come out. Deciding to clear out the ice sculptures in the way, Mo Qingyun summoned the ghosts and let them deal with the ice sculptures. Because the ice sculptures were protected by a formation, Mo Qingyun didn't dare to guarantee that he wouldn't be attacked by the formation if he destroyed the ice sculptures. Chapter 1904. The ghosts that were summoned by Mo Qingyun began to fight with the ice sculpture plants, causing a huge commotion. Although most of the ghosts were not as strong as these ice sculpture plants, they had the advantage in numbers. In comparison, the overall strength of the ghosts was stronger and suppressed these ice sculpture plants. Soon, some of the ice sculpture plants were blasted into a pile of ice dregs by the ghosts. Boom, boom, boom. When the ice sculpture plants were killed, wind and clouds began to gather in the sky above the cold pond, and a layer of blue clouds appeared. When the blue clouds appeared, they emitted a terrifying chill, and cold blue ice spikes descended. These blue ice spikes descended and bombarded the ghosts below, turning them into ice sculptures. Even some 4th and 5th stage, 9 heavens, Xian immortal ghosts were unable to resist the bombardment of these blue ice spikes. What a terrifying array attack! Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun was shocked, and a sense of lingering fear rose in his heart. Fortunately, he let the ghosts test the waters first. Otherwise, if he acted rashly, he would have been turned into a pile of ice dregs. Boom, boom, boom. As the ghosts were turned into ice sculptures, they were turned into piles of ice dregs under the bombardment of the ice sculpture plants. In the blink of an eye, dozens of ghosts were killed and turned into pure remnant souls that scattered between heaven and earth. This can't go on. With the number of ghosts under my control, I'm afraid I won't be able to kill my way into the ice sculpture palace. Seeing the number of ghosts dwindling, Mo Qingyun quickly thought of a way to resolve this situation. Mo Qingyun pondered for a moment and had a plan. He immediately used the Gate of Evocation. Soon, a whirlpool-like gate of light formed outside the ice sculpture palace. As the Gate of Evocation was activated, some of the remnant souls in the surroundings were sucked into the gate. In next to no time, some ghosts at the 5th, 6th, and even 7th level of the 9 heavens Xian immortal realm appeared. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He exclaimed, "It looks like many immortal alchemists died here during the alchemy master trial, and every one of them was very powerful." As Mo Qingyun thought of this, he could roughly guess how those immortal alchemists had died. If he wasn't mistaken, those immortal alchemists had most likely killed the ice sculpture plants by mistake and were then forcefully killed by the spell formation. Fortunately, these guys died here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to summon ghosts. Looking at the summoned ghost, a faint smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's face, and he felt a sense of relief. Just as Mo Qingyun was rejoicing, the newly summoned ghosts also joined the battle. With the addition of these ghostly creatures, the ice sculpture was once again suppressed. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun's figure moved and flew into the ice sculpture palace. Not long after, Mo Qingyun entered the ice sculpture palace and saw a pile of skeletons at the entrance. These skeletons were emitting a powerful aura. If he wasn't mistaken, the owners of these skeletons should be the immortal alchemists who have been killed. I didn't expect that after so many years, there would be another reckless fellow coming to die. While Mo Qingyun was observing the skeletons, a contemptuous voice sounded from inside the ice sculpture palace. The tone of this voice seemed to have come from the mouth of a child. As expected, a child who looked like a porcelain doll approached, surrounded by a few ice sculpture plants. The moment this child appeared, the pill formula of the Genesis Fire, the Emperor Flame Golden Pill, throbbed intensely. From the looks of it, the porcelain doll-like child in front of him should be formed from the snow dragon ice grass. Collect. Since he had discovered the snow dragon ice grass, Mo Qingyun naturally wouldn't hesitate and immediately collected the snow dragon ice grass. What surprised Mo Qingyun was that although he had activated the pill formula, he couldn't collect the snow dragon ice grass. Haha, after all this time, it turns out to be an idiot. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the snow dragon ice grass mocked and said, "You don't even know that I can't be collected by the pill formula when I'm in human form. You actually want to collect me? What a big idiot." It turns out that I can't collect it when it's in human form. After hearing the snow dragon ice grass's words, Mo Qingyun's doubts were immediately resolved. A look of understanding appeared on his face as he said with a smile, "Thank you for reminding me. Since that's the case, I won't be polite. As Mo Qingyun's words fell, he immediately ordered a few ghosts to come and entangle the other ice sculpture plants. Seeing that the ice sculpture plants beside him were entangled, the snow dragon ice grass didn't panic. He still looked at Mo Qingyun with disdain and said, "Kid, even if you entangle my subordinates with your ant-like strength, you can't do anything to me. We'll know whether or not I can try." Towards the snow dragon ice grass's words, Mo Qingyun gave a meaningful smile and took the initiative to attack the snow dragon ice grass. The sealed door, a small and exquisite door of light, appeared in Mo Qingyun's palm. He waved his hand and threw it towards the snow dragon ice grass. Facing the attack of the sealed door, the snow dragon ice grass's expression was slightly stunned. A look of surprise appeared on its face. From the sealed door, it didn't feel the slightest bit of spiritual chi. It was as if it didn't have the slightest bit of attacking power. Pucci. While the snow dragon ice grass was in a daze, the sealed door turned into a stream of light, rapidly entering its body. After receiving the attack of the sealed door, the snow dragon ice grass's face revealed pain. Its aura started to become extremely unstable. Seeing Mo Qingyun's scene, a faint smile appeared on the corner of Mo Qingyun's mouth. He didn't show any mercy because of this. Bloodline suppression. A terrifying bloodline power exploded from Mo Qingyun's body and spread in all directions. Under Mo Qingyun's bloodline suppression, the aura emitted by the snow dragon ice grass immediately became even more unstable. Therefore, its body contained some dragon bloodline. Therefore, it would be affected by Mo Qingyun's bloodline suppression. Gradually, the snow dragon ice grass was unable to maintain its human form and changed its form bit by bit. Roar. Under the suppression of two powers, the snow dragon ice grass was finally unable to maintain its human form and turned into a huge ice dragon shadow. As the snow dragon ice grass turned into the ice dragon form, a nine heavens Xian immortal realm aura erupted from its body. Kid, although your divine ability is powerful, it's still far from enough to take me down. The snow dragon ice grass turned into a dragon and once again said something unconvinced. With a swing of its dragon tail, it charged towards Mo Qingyun. Seeing the snow dragon ice grass attacking him, the corner of Mo Qingyun's mouth rose slightly. With a wave of his hand, he summoned the seven-headed green serpent. Chapter 1905. Seven-headed green serpent. Is there any way to beat it back to its original form? After summoning the seven-headed green serpent, Mo Qingyun did not beat around the bush and directly asked the serpent. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the seven-headed green serpent shook its head and said, "It's a piece of cake. Master, watch me. Remember, don't kill it. At the same time, don't kill the other ice sculpture plants." Worried that the seven-headed green serpent did not know the situation and did not know how to control its strength, Mo Qingyun immediately reminded it. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's reminder, the seven-headed green serpent immediately nodded and replied, "Master, this is the sacred medicine valley of the alchemist temple. I've snuck in once and am very familiar with the rules here." "Oh, in that case, I'm relieved." Upon hearing the seven-headed green serpent's words, Mo Qingyun was slightly surprised, but then a bright smile appeared on his face. He did not expect the seven-headed green serpent to have been to the sacred medicine valley before. This made things much easier. The seven-headed green serpent was indeed a reincarnated Saint Realm expert. With just a casual move, it suppressed the snow dragon ice grass. "Show yourself." After suppressing the snow dragon ice grass, the seven-headed green serpent quickly formed a hand seal and pointed at the snow dragon ice grass's head. The hand seal sank into the snow dragon ice grass's sea of consciousness, and the snow dragon ice grass's form changed again. In the blink of an eye, the snow dragon ice grass changed from its ice dragon form to a small dragon-shaped ice grass. Collect. Upon seeing the snow dragon ice grass's original form, Mo Qingyun immediately took out the pill recipe and prepared to collect it into the pill recipe. Then, the snow dragon ice grass shrank little by little and turned into a speck of starlight that flew into the pill recipe. As the snow dragon ice grass was collected, the surrounding ice sculpture plants that were blocking the way immediately scattered and ran away. They ran pretty fast. Seeing the ice sculpture plants running away, Mo Qingyun's lips curled up slightly, but he did not continue to chase after them. Retracting his gaze from the ice sculpture plants, Mo Qingyun looked at the skeletons around him, and his gaze fell on the pill recipes one by one. They are also participating in the pill refiner trial, so the pill formulas in their hands should be the same as mine. Looking at the pill recipes in the pile of bones, Mo Qingyun's mind spun rapidly. Anticipation appeared on his face as he said, "If they can continue collecting herbs with these pill recipes, won't I be able to take away a lot of them?" As soon as this thought appeared in his mind, Mo Qingyun couldn't wait any longer and immediately collected the pill recipes. 47 pill formulas. I can collect quite a lot of medicinal ingredients. Counting the pill recipes in his hand, Mo Qingyun revealed a brilliant smile and said, "Wait until I have collected all the ingredients for refining pills. Then I will slowly collect the ingredients for these pill recipes. By the way, I wonder what kind of medicinal herbs they collected in their pill formulas?" Looking at the pill recipe in his hand, Mo Qingyun's heart skipped a beat. He revealed an expression of anticipation once more. If some of the materials they've gathered are what I need, wouldn't that save me a lot of time? With that thought, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated. He immediately activated the 47 pill formulas. Under Mo Qingyun's control, the 47 pill formulas immediately shone with dazzling light. Appear! With a tap of Mo Qingyun's finger, the medicinal herbs collected in the 47 pill formulas immediately flew out. The medicinal herbs that flew out of the pill formulas radiated with dense herbal spiritual qi. They did not weaken with time at all. This is the metal blood dragon breath fruit, fire refinement essence. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, he was able to clearly identify each and every precious alchemy material. Seeing these ingredients, Mo Qingyun immediately beamed with joy. He said excitedly, "There are a total of 53 ingredients that I need. Moving these ingredients away will save me half the time." With that in mind, Mo Qingyun no longer wasted any time. He immediately took out the recipe for the Empyrean flames of Genesis fire. Then, Mo Qingyun stored the ingredients he needed into the recipe for the Empyrean flames of Genesis fire. After Mo Qingyun was done, he carefully put away the 48 pill formulas. After putting away all the pill formulas, Mo Qingyun looked at the skeletons again. He frowned slightly and said, "The storage rings of these people are not on the skeletons. Could it be that the snow dragon ice grass has taken them away?" With that thought in mind, Mo Qingyun immediately walked into the ice sculpture palace to check the snow dragon ice grass collection room. However, what disappointed Mo Qingyun was that the interior of the snow dragon ice grass palace did not contain anything. It seems that the treasures of those immortal alchemists should be in the space that they created. With such a result, Mo Qingyun did not think too much. He sighed and said, "Since the snow dragon ice grass has been collected, I should leave this place." Mo Qingyun said to himself. He did not stay any longer. He turned and flew out of the ice sculpture palace. After leaving the ice sculpture palace, Missouri Qingyun did not stop. He directly flew out of the ice cave. Since he had found the snow dragon ice grass, he could not waste any more time. It was time to find other ingredients. Although he had found more than 50 ingredients, refining the Empyrean flames of Genesis fire required more than 100 ingredients. With the speed at which he found the snow dragon ice grass, it was far from enough. He had to seize every second. At this moment, when Mo Qingyun left the ice cave, a white-haired old man stood guard at the side of the cave with a cold smile. He said, "That kid has been in the ice cave for a long time. I wonder if he can come out alive. It would be great if he can bring the snow dragon ice grass out." The white-haired old man looked at the ice cave. A cold smile appeared at the corner of his mouth, emitting a murderous intent. if he was not mistaken. The reason he stayed here was to kill people and rob them of their belongings. In the process of leaving the ice cave, Mo Qingyun's flying speed was clearly much faster than when he had come. After more than 2 hours, Mo Qingyun came out of the ice cave. After leaving the ice cave, Mo Qingyun did not stop. He was about to immediately leave the hidden dragon snow mountain. However, just as Mo Qingyun came out of the ice cave, an old figure blocked his way. Seeing the person blocking his way, Mo Qingyun's expression froze. He looked at the other party with a face of surprise. He was certain that the bone age of the person in front of him was definitely more than 10,000 years old. Could it be that the entrance to the Sacred Medicine Valley is not the only one in the Sacred Medicine Master Temple? Sizing up the old man in front of him, Mo Qingyun pondered in his heart, guessing the possibility of this person appearing. As Mo Qingyun pondered, the white-haired old man in front of him showed an impatient expression. He said, "Kid, this old man does not want to kill. Obediently hand over your pill formula and all the ingredients you obtained." Chapter 1906. I don't have the ability to take it. Haha, kid, you really know how to joke. The white-haired old man immediately laughed when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. I, Chun Yish, have stayed in the Sacred Medicine Valley for 7 million years. In the past 2 million years, I have never seen anyone who dares to speak to me like this. 7 million years? Mo Qingyun's expression changed when he heard the white-haired old man's words. He was even more curious about the old man's identity. As Mo Qingyun was puzzled, a sharp light flashed in Chun Yish's eyes. He coldly sneered and said, "Little fellow, this old man has lived for so many years, but this is the first time I've seen such a perfect body like yours. The vitality in your body is as exuberant as that of a newborn baby." Greed flashed in Chun Yish's eyes as he spoke those words. He seemed to be eyeing Mo Qingyun's body. Mo Qingyun's expression tensed up when he saw Chun Yish's reaction. He was even more wary of Chun Yish. Judging from the aura Chun Yish was emitting, he was at the 8th level of the 9 Heavens Xian immortal realm, just like Gu Yang. In the face of such a powerful existence, Mo Qingyun did not have much confidence in defeating or killing him. Of course, Mo Qingyun was still confident that he could save his life from Chun Yish. "Kid, how about this old man make a deal with you?" Chun Yish wasn't in a hurry to make a move when he saw the tense expression on Mo Qingyun's face. A sinister smile appeared on his face. "If you hand over your body to this old man will guarantee that you can cultivate in the Sacred Medicine Valley for 1,000,000 years without being disturbed. This is a rare opportunity, so you have to think about it carefully." "You want me to cultivate in the Sacred Medicine Valley for 1,000,000 years? Mo Qingyun was immediately puzzled when he heard Chun Yish's words. "There's only a month's time in the Sacred Medicine Valley. Once the time is up, you'll be automatically sent out of the Sacred Medicine Valley. Why do you want me to cultivate here for 1,000,000 years? You're still too young. Your knowledge is still too shallow." Chun Yish feigned a profound smile when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. "Under normal circumstances, you can only stay in the Sacred Medicine Valley for a month. If you use some special methods, you can extend this period indefinitely." "Oh, there's such a method?" Mo Qingyun's curiosity was immediately aroused by Chun Yish's words. He asked, "Tell me, what method can you use to let me stay in the Sacred Medicine Valley for 1,000,000 years? If I think it's possible to do it, I'll agree to your suggestion to me to do it." "Brat, you really know how to adapt to circumstances. This old man likes smart people like you." Chun Yish raised his thumb in praise when he saw Mo Qingyun's actions. He smiled in satisfaction and said, "The formations of the Sacred Medicine Valley sense the people in the valley through their souls and bodies. If one of them breaks off, the formation's senses will vanish as well, and it won't be able to transmit any information." "You mean to say that if I separate my soul from my body, I'll escape the detection of the valley's formation?" Mo Qingyun's eyes immediately lit up when he heard Chun Yish's words. He became extremely excited. If that was the case, Wouldn't he be able to harvest as much as he wanted once his soul and body were separated? Chun Yish grinned when he saw Mo Qingyun's expression change. He guessed what Mo Qingyun was thinking. Kid, stop daydreaming. Even if you switch to another body, you won't be able to harvest the precious herbs in the valley. Upon hearing Chun Yish's words, Mo Qingyun's face revealed a look of disappointment. His expression unconsciously sank. At the end of the day, he still couldn't harvest the herbs in the sacred medicine valley as he wished. He had been happy for nothing. After telling Mo Qingyun how to stay in the sacred medicine valley, Chun Yish became rather impatient. He began to urge Mo Qingyun, "Kid, I've already told you the specific method to stay in the sacred medicine valley. Shouldn't you fulfill your promise and hand over your body to me?" Chun Yish's eyes flashed with a sinister light when he said that. He was like a hungry wolf that was about to pounce. The corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly under Chun Yish's gaze. He smiled faintly and said, "Old man, I've thought about it carefully. I'm afraid I can't agree to your suggestion." Shadow Dragon Transformation. Mo Qingyun did not want to stay any longer. He used the Shadow Dragon Transformation and prepared to slip away. Mo Qingyun used the Shadow Dragon Transformation. His body began to expand rapidly, turning into a 100-meter-long shadow dragon in the blink of an eye. Goodbye, old man. After Mo Qingyun transformed into his dragon shadow form, he swung his tail and shot into the sky. In the blink of an eye, Mo Qingyun had flown tens of thousands of miles away and disappeared from Chun Yish's line of sight. "Damn kid, how dare you trick me? You won't be able to escape from my clutches." Chun Yish's face darkened when he saw Mo Qingyun disappear in the blink of an eye. He gritted his teeth and shouted angrily. Then, Chun Yish's figure flashed and chased after Mo Qingyun. It seemed like he wouldn't give up until he caught him. After using the Shadow Dragon Transformation, Mo Qingyun's flying speed was much faster than Chun Yish's speed. Before long, Mo Qingyun had shaken off Chun Yish and arrived in front of a valley. This is the fiery red valley. The red spark ape grass grows here. I actually stumbled upon this place by accident. After confirming his location, Mo Qingyun's face immediately lit up with joy. He quickly walked into the valley. Since he was already here, he might as well collect the red spark ape grass so that he wouldn't have to make another trip. The red spark ape grass was different from the snow dragon ice grass. He didn't particularly cherish it. There were plenty of them growing in the fiery red valley. Collect. Seeing the red spark ape grass in the valley, Mo Qingyun took out the pill recipe and collected the red spark ape grass around him. While Mo Qingyun was collecting the red spark ape grass, he saw a familiar figure. It was Mu Junting who had schemed against him before. Enemies are bound to meet on a narrow road. Seeing Mu Junting not far away, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth rose slightly. He slowly flew towards Mu Junting. Mo Qingyun. Why is he here? Mo Qingyun's appearance quickly attracted Mu Junting's attention. He was so scared that his face turned pale. He never would have thought that he would actually bump into Mo Qingyun here. He was really unlucky. Seeing Mo Qingyun approaching him, Mu Junting immediately turned around and fled for his life in the valley under his guilty conscience. Looking at Mu Junting fleeing ahead, Mo Qingyun was not in a hurry to make a move. He revealed a faint smile and said, "Brother Mu, we've known each other for a while. Why are you in a hurry to leave when you see me?" Chapter 1907. Brother Mu, you don't have to go through so much trouble if you want me to be unable to participate in the Alchemy Master Trial. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed a few times before he caught up to Mu Junting. He flew above Mu Junting and said, "As long as you change the order of my examination, perhaps the Alchemy Master Trial would have already begun and it wouldn't be my turn to take the test." Mu Junting's eyes narrowed when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He realized that he had not thought things through. If they had followed Mo Qingyun's plan, they would have been able to silently prevent Mo Qingyun from participating in the Alchemy Master Trial. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly when he saw Mu Junting's silence. He calmly continued, "Speaking of which, I have to thank you for saving me a lot of time. Mu Junting was immediately upset when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. It was as if he had spilled a bottle of mixed feelings. If they did not change the order of Mo Qingyun's examination, perhaps Mo Qingyun would not be the one to take the test when the alchemy master trial began. It seemed that Li Zhao and Mu Junting had made a fool of themselves by allowing Mo Qingyun to take the test earlier. Subsequently, Mo Qingyun and Mu Junting chased each other deeper into the fiery Red Valley. Suddenly, a terrifying aura that could destroy the world surged out from the fiery Red Valley. Kikik, I didn't expect the new alchemy master trial to begin as soon as I come out of seclusion. Behind that terrifying aura, a sinister laugh sounded from within the valley. After staying in the sacred medicine valley for so long, it's time for this old man to leave. You two little fellows came at the right time, just in time for me to change my identity. As the old voice spoke, a huge black palm condensed above Mo Qingyun and Luo Yunyang. The 9th level of the 9 heavens profound immortal realm. Mo Qingyun was shocked when he sensed the aura of the huge palm. He hurriedly fled out of the valley. He still had the strength to fight Qin Yish, who was at the 8th level of the 9 heavens profound immortal realm. At the very least, he had no problem keeping his life. However, Mo Qingyun didn't have the slightest confidence when facing an expert at the 9th level of the 9 heavens profound immortal realm. He naturally had to flee immediately. Otherwise, what was the point of staying here? Mo Qingyun's reaction was extremely fast. He fled out of the valley in the blink of an eye and avoided the capture of the huge palm. Mo Qingyun's escape, but Mu Junting's escape, was to Mu Junting. Under the pressure of the huge black palm, Mu Junting even forgot to escape and was directly captured by the huge black palm. Not long after, Mu Junting was brought before a purple black-haired old man by the huge black palm. Although his talent is a little lacking, it's still much better than my body. The old man's eyes flashed with slight disappointment as he looked at Mu Junting, and then he turned to look at the exit of the valley. He's merely at the golden immortal realm, yet his flying speed is comparable to the 5th level of the 9 heavens profound immortal realm. That kid's natural talent is surely extremely monstrous. Unfortunately, he escaped. Say, Senior, I know who that person is. I can help you capture him. Mu Junting gulped down a mouthful of saliva when he saw the old man was interested in Mo Qingyun, and then he hurriedly spoke to curry favor with the old man. The interest on the old man's face increased greatly when he heard Mu Junting, and he said with a light smile, "Tell me, what exactly is that kid's background? If your answer is able to satisfy me, then I can spare your life." Yes, Mu Junting was delighted, and he spoke of his understanding of Mo Qingyun without leaving out the slightest detail. The old man's face was covered in shock when he heard Mu Junting, and he said with surprise, "That kid's bone age is actually only 32 years old. Looks like his natural talent in cultivation is much more terrifying than I expected. If I take possession of his body, then my chances of charging into the Saint Realm will at least increase by more than 50%. The old man became more excited the more he thought about it, and the greed in his eyes wasn't concealed at all. He gave others the feeling of a ferocious beast. Mu Junting's body immediately trembled under the old man's imposing aura, and he revealed a terrified expression as he asked, "Say, Senior, I've already told you everything about Mo Qingyun. Can I leave now?" "Leave?" The old man grinned as a mocking expression appeared on his face. "Kid, even though I said I'll spare your life, I didn't say I'll let you leave." "Senior," Mu Junting's expression immediately shook when he heard the old man, and a strand of despair flashed in his eyes. Could it be that he was really going to lose his life here today? Otherwise, how could he fall into the tiger's den right after escaping from the wolf's claws? "Kid, I, Gong Pingyang, am a man of my words. Since I said I won't kill anyone, I'll naturally spare your life." Seeing through Mu Junting's thoughts, the old man laughed loudly and raised his hand to grab Mu Junting's head. Under Gong Pingyang's grab, a gray transparent shadow was pulled out of Mu Junting's head. This transparent figure was naturally Mu Junting's soul. Mu Junting's soul left his body, and he trembled in the air as he looked at Gong Pingyang in fear. Under Mu Junting's gaze, a small black person flew out of Gong Pingyang's body. Then, the small black person entered Mu Junting's body. It's really different after changing to a body with good aptitude. After Gong Pingyang entered Mu Junting's body, he stretched his body and revealed a carefree smile. Seeing his body being taken over, Mu Junting's expression immediately became bitter, and a strong sense of grievance rose within him. From today onwards, he was no longer Mu Junting. Thinking of this, Mu Junting's expression turned cold. He gritted his teeth and shouted angrily, "Mo Qingyun, it's all your fault. I, Mu Junting, swear today that I'll make you suffer a horrible death." Just as Mu Junting's heart was filled with hatred, Gong Pingyang laughed loudly and raised his hand to grab Mu Junting's soul. He said, "Kid, seeing your performance just now, this old man will give this body to you." As Gong Pingyang's words fell, he placed Mu Junting's soul into his body. After doing all this, Gong Pingyang quickly formed a series of hand seals to help Mu Junting adapt to the new body. "Thank you, Senior." After adapting to the new body, Mu Junting's face was filled with gratitude, and he quickly bowed to Gong Pingyang. Gong Pingyang waved his hand indifferently at Mu Junting's bow and said, "No need to be so polite. As long as you work for this old man wholeheartedly, I'll naturally return this body to you after I've taken over Mo Qingyun's body." Thank you, Senior." Chapter 1908. Kid, you're pretty smart. Do a good job for me, and you won't be short of benefits in the future. Gong Pingyang nodded in satisfaction when he saw Mu Junting's performance. He made some promises to Mu Junting before saying, "I still need to get used to my new body. Do as you please here." "Yes." Mu Junting nodded in response, but he did not leave on his own. Instead, he began to stand guard for Gong Pingyang. In Mu Junting's opinion, since he had already followed Gong Pingyang, he naturally had to gain his trust first. Mu Junting's face sank as he stood guard by Gong Pingyang's side. Intense hatred rose up in his heart, and he said, "Mo Qingyun, Senior Gong has already set his eyes on you. You won't be able to be complacent for much longer. There's no pill devil here to protect you." Outside the valley, Mo Qingyun still showed lingering fear after escaping from the valley. He was unable to calm down even after a long time. He thought in surprise, "I never thought that there would be such a terrifying existence in the valley. It looks like the Sacred Medicine Valley is filled with danger." Mo Qingyun murmured to himself. He did not dare to stay any longer and immediately began to leave the valley. Only after flying for a while longer and confirming that he was completely safe did Mo Qingyun stop. He said, "Based on the situation before, there's probably quite a few old monsters like Chun Yish in the Sacred Medicine Valley. I have to be extremely careful." He did not want to be hunted down by another old monster when he went to the next place to gather herbs. Mo Qingyun thought about it for a moment. Then he took out the pill recipe and chose the next place to go. Very soon, Mo Qingyun chose a place. He stowed the pill recipe away and continued on his way. While Mo Qingyun was hurrying along, his mind was also pondering. He thought of a terrifying situation, and he exclaimed in shock, "If those old monsters possess bodies and change their bodies, wouldn't they also be able to participate in the alchemist trials?" Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun's brows furrowed tightly, and his mood suddenly became much heavier. These old fellows have cultivated here for countless years, so their alchemy skills must be very amazing. If they participate in the alchemy competition, I'm afraid it won't be difficult for them to refine 7-star immortal pills. When Mo Qingyun thought of this, a joyful expression appeared on his face. He said in a low voice, "Fortunately, I chose the pill formula of the 7-star celestial pill. Otherwise, let alone the first place in the alchemy master trial, I'm afraid that even the top 10 would be extremely unlikely." Judging from the current situation, These old fellows who had stayed in the sacred medicine valley for a long time must have at least a 7-star alchemist. Perhaps some of them might even have reached the level of 8-star pill forging. If this was really the case, then there would be no suspense in the competition if the grade of the pill formula was not limited. Even if the grade of the pill formula was restricted, if Mo Qingyun chose a 6-star immortal pill, the result would still be the same. It was obvious that the top 10 spots in this alchemist trial would be monopolized by those old fellows. Up ahead is the Azura River, the place where the Azura's kiss grows. Mo Qingyun flew for a while before an endless river appeared in front of him. The Azura River was not very wide. It was only about tens of thousands of miles long, but it was very long. Even with Mo Qingyun's eyesight, he could not see the end of the great Azura River as far as the eye could see. According to the map of the pill formula, the Azura's kiss grows in the lower reaches of the Azura River. It should be in this direction. After identifying the location of the Azura's kiss, Mo Qingyun continued to follow the direction of the river in search of the Azura's kiss. As Mo Qingyun continued to fly, the dark qi emitted by the Azura River became denser and denser. The river water also became thicker and thicker. It seems like I'm going in the right direction. Looking at the situation of the river below, Mo Qingyun had a clear idea of the direction he was heading in. Following this, Mo Qingyun immediately increased his speed. Mo Qingyun flew for the time it took to brew a cup of tea before a familiar figure suddenly appeared in his line of sight. Zhuomeng, she's here too. Is she also looking for the Azura's kiss? After recognizing the figure in front of him, Mo Qingyun began to guess. However, he did not approach Zhuomeng rashly. Zhuomeng wanted to kill him. If she found out, it would be very troublesome for him to collect the Azura's kiss. Following this, Mo Qingyun quietly followed behind Zhuomeng and slowly rushed towards the lower reaches of the Azura River. After about half an hour, Zhuomeng came to a riverbank and stopped moving forward. Seeing Zhuomeng stop, Mo Qingyun's expression tensed up. He was curious about Zhuomeng's actions. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, Zhuomeng quickly formed a hand seal and blasted it toward a rock on the riverbank. Boom, boom, boom. When Zhuomeng's hand seal landed on the rock, it immediately shook violently as if an earthquake was about to happen. Following this, a huge gully appeared on the riverbank. As soon as the gully appeared, black tentacles as thick as buckets stretched out from it. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun was shocked, and his expression turned grave. This kind of situation was really beyond his expectations. He would never have thought that such a terrifying existence was hidden at the bottom of the riverbank. More importantly, Zhuomeng's actions clearly showed that she was here to release this existence. Who is this Zhuomeng? How is she so familiar with the sacred medicine valley? Mo Qingyun knew very well that if Zhuomeng was not familiar with the sacred medicine valley, she would not have found this place directly. While Mo Qingyun was puzzled, the gully in front of the riverbank grew bigger and bigger. Gradually, the scene inside could be seen clearly. In this gully, there were 4 or 5 octopus-like monsters that were trapped by strange chain-like runes. Glancing at the scene inside the gully, Mo Qingyun made a rough count. There were a total of 4 octopus-like monsters. Each of these 4 octopus-like monsters was very powerful and was at the 7th level of the 9 Heavens Xian Immortal Realm. For ancestors of the Luo clan, how can I save you? Looking at the 4 octopus-like monsters below, Zhuomeng showed a respectful expression and asked them. Upon hearing Zhuomeng's words, the biggest of the 4 octopus-like monsters said in a strange tone, "There's a green bead above our heads. You only need to take that bead away, and the 4 of us will naturally be able to come out." Yes. Hearing the octopus-like monster's words, Zhuomeng did not dare to hesitate and immediately took the green bead. Under Zhuomeng's control, the green bead slowly flew out of the gully. After a while, the green bead fell into Zhuomeng's hand and emitted emerald green light. Ha! We can finally come out. Without the suppression of the green bead, the 4 octopus-like monsters immediately laughed and said complacent words. Chapter 1909. As soon as the four octopus-like monsters broke free from the rune chains, a terrifying black fog erupted from their bodies. As their bodies were shrouded in the black fog, the four octopus-like monsters began to shrink rapidly. After a while, when the black fog that shrouded the octopus-like monsters dissipated, they had transformed into human forms. However, the four of them still looked as ugly as before, with tentacles growing from their heads. Zhuomeng greets the four ancestors of Luos. Looking at the four people in front of her, Zhuomeng showed a respectful expression and bowed to the four of them. Little beauty, no need for formalities. Sizing up Zhuomeng, the four ancestors of Luos waved their hands with a smirk and quickly helped Zhuomeng up. After helping Zhuomeng up, the leader of the four, the ancestor of Luos, sneered and said, "Little beauty, we four brothers have been imprisoned here for nearly 100 million years. The blood chi in our bodies has been greatly depleted, and we need the blood of virgins to make up for it. Are you willing to sacrifice your body for us?" Ancestor of Luos. Hearing the words of the ancestor of Luos, Zhuomeng's pretty face immediately turned pale, and she looked at the four of them in horror. She could not believe that the four people in front of her wanted to suck her blood essence after she had saved them. Seeing the horror on Zhuomeng's face, the cold smiles on the four of them immediately became more intense. "The blood of virgins like yours is simply a great tonic for the four of us. Zhuomeng, you sacrificed your life for the four of us. This is the greatest honor in your life. Come here obediently. Let this ancestor of Luos love you, and let you feel the joy of a blood sacrifice." The four ancestors of Luos laughed and pounced on Zhuomeng, intending to devour Zhuomeng's virgin blood. Ancestors of Luos, you. Seeing the actions of the four ancestors of Luos, Zhuomeng's pretty face immediately turned pale, and a wave of resentment rose in her heart. Perhaps due to the identities of the four people, even though Zhuomeng was extremely embarrassed, she did not dare to attack them. In desperation, Zhuomeng could only turn around and run, hoping to escape the evil clutches of the four people. Interesting. Seeing the scene before him, Emo Qingyun's lips curled up slightly, and a look of interest appeared on his face. He did not expect such a situation. However, he did not intend to pay attention to it. His attention was now all on the bottom of the gully. There were purple flowers growing there, looking a bit like lips smeared with poison. Kiss of Azura's kiss. Fortunately, I've followed you all. Looking at the Azura's kiss at the bottom of the gully, a faint smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's face. Zwa ancestors of Luo. This is Zwa ancestors. Door. Of Zun, Zuzwa, was Zud dead. Zwa Zuid 8 Zut Zut. He aided Zun. Zuzu is? Soon, Mo Qingyun arrived at the bottom of the ravine and took out the pill formula. Ancestors. As Mo Qingyun activated the pill recipe, it shone with a dazzling light, and Zwazwa put away the kiss of Azura. Mo Qingyun's face lit up when he saw that he had the kiss of Azura. He turned and flew out of the gully. When Mo Qingyun came out of the gully, he saw that Zhuomeng was trapped by the four octopus monsters. Zhuomeng's face was filled with despair. Zhuomeng's beautiful face was filled with despair and sadness. Mo Qingyun could not bear to see her like this. He sighed and said, "Since you've helped me, I'll save you this time. From now on, we're even." Mo Qingyun muttered to himself. He took out the God Shooter bow and aimed at the four octopus monsters. The God Shooter bow exuded a powerful saint aura as it shone with a dazzling light. "Little beauty, I'm coming." When Mo Qingyun took out the God Shooter bow, third Luo ancestor moved and pounced on Zhuomeng. The third sifting ancestor's figure moved, and a giant octopus shadow appeared behind him, blocking all of Zhuomeng's escape routes. Third brother's demonic net is getting more and more powerful. We've been imprisoned here all these years. Although we've lost a lot of blood chi and immortal spiritual force, our supernatural powers have improved. When we recover our strength, we must lead our Shura army and trample all the races on the wasteland continent under our feet. That's right. We'll make those foolish humans regret their actions and let them know the consequences of not being united. We're all humans, but they insist on dividing us into gods and immortals. How laughable and foolish. Watching third Luo ancestor attack Zwameng, the other Luo ancestors sneered and talked smugly. While the Luo ancestors were talking, an imposing arrow pierced through the air and shot toward them. Swoosh! The arrow was so fast that it exploded third Luo ancestor's head before the Luo ancestors could react. The other three patriarchs were shocked when they saw this. They shouted, "Third brother!" Then, the three Luo ancestors flashed to third Luo ancestor's side. "Who is it? How dare you kill my third brother? Get out here at once. That damn bitch. How dare you ambush us with outsiders? You must have a death wish. Kill this bitch and avenge our third brother." The other Luo ancestors gnashed their teeth and glared at Zwameng when they saw third Luo ancestor killed in an instant. The turn of events was so sudden that Zwameng couldn't react in time. "What are you still standing there for? Run for your life," Mo Qingyun urged impatiently when he saw Zwameng frozen in place. Zwameng's eyes lit up when she heard Mo Qingyun's words. She knew who had saved her. It's you," she exclaimed. "Say no more. Run to the west. I'll cover you along the way." Before Zwameng could finish her words, Mo Qingyun interrupted her and told her the direction she was escaping in. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Zwameng didn't dare hesitate and immediately fled towards Mo Qingyun. After her, the three Luo ancestors shouted angrily when they saw Zwameng running to the west. They quickly followed Zwameng. However, they had just broken free from the seal and were still very weak. Moreover, their cultivation was the same as Zwameng's. Therefore, they couldn't keep up with Zwameng's pace in a short time. Swoosh! Just as the three patriarchs of the Luo clan were enraged, another arrow shadow with an imposing aura suddenly appeared in the void. The arrow turned into a speck of starlight and disappeared. It suddenly appeared in front of them. "Quick! Retreat! Someone is ambushing us!" The three Luo ancestors were shocked when they saw the arrow coming at them. They immediately dodged to the back. Chapter 19:10. As the three Luo ancestors retreated, Zwameng immediately fled far away, slowly disappearing from their sight. Looking at the disappearing Zwameng, the fourth Luo ancestor's face darkened. He gritted his teeth and said, "Damn it, I can't believe that girl escaped. If I see her again, I will suck her dry." This time, not only did we not catch that girl, but we also caused third brother to be killed. What a double whammy. Thinking that the third Luo ancestor had been assassinated, the second Luo ancestor was also unwilling. He turned to the great Luo ancestor beside him and said, "Big brother, are we still going to continue the chase? Are we just going to let that girl go? Don't worry, I just left a Saint Power brand on her body. She can't escape from us." Hearing the second Luo ancestor's question, the great Luo ancestor's face turned cold. He comforted him and said, "Let's find a place to recover some blood chi and cultivation. We'll take care of her later." All right. The Luo ancestors discussed, and they did not continue the chase. They turned and fled into the distance. Seeing that the three Luo ancestors had retreated, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed, and he rushed in the direction that Zwameng had fled. He originally thought that there would be a fierce battle, but he did not expect the three Luo ancestors to retreat. He was very surprised by this result, but he was also happy to see it this way. Mo Qingyun did not fly for long before he saw Zwameng. She seemed to be waiting for him. Seeing Zwameng in front of him, Mo Qingyun no longer hid and slowly appeared in Zwameng's sight. "It really is you." Seeing Mo Qingyun's figure appear, Zwameng's beautiful eyes trembled slightly, and she said in a huff. From Zwameng's tone, one could tell that she was in a very complicated mood. She seemed to want to thank Mo Qingyun, but also seemed to blame Mo Qingyun and also seemed to be acting coquettishly to vent her grievances. Hearing Zhuo Meng's words, Mo Qingyun had a helpless expression. He smiled faintly and said, "Miss, I just saved you. You're not going to kill me, are you? If you dare to mention that, believe it or not, I'll really." Seeing that Mo Qingyun was about to mention that, Zhuo Meng immediately became angry and clenched her fists tightly. However, although she appeared very angry, she did not attack. She did not attack Mo. She asked curiously, I tried to kill you before I wanted you to kill me. Why did you save me suddenly? Isn't it normal for a hero to save a beauty? Zhuo Meng, Zhuo Meng, Luo Meng's Luo, she ancestor, she it Meng Luo ancestor, Luo ancestor, he Luo. He, Luha. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Zhuo Meng immediately couldn't help laughing. She covered her mouth and said, "TSK, you're the only hero. You're more like a perverted thief." She. Bite Luo, judging from the current situation, Luo's impression of him as a pervert was deeply ingrained in Zhuo Meng's heart. Seeing Mo Qingyun's depressed expression, Zhuo Meng's smile widened. She waved at Mo Qingyun and said, "Okay, I won't make fun of you. You're a great hero, okay?" Mo Qingyun chuckled, but didn't say anything in response. Seeing Mo Qingyun's calm expression, Zhuo Meng frowned slightly and said embarrassedly, "Hey, people say that you should help Buddha to the end. Since you saved me, why don't you protect me until I leave the Sacred Medicine Valley?" Protect you until you leave the Sacred Medicine Valley? Hearing Zhuo Meng's words, Mo Qingyun was speechless. What kind of situation was this? While Mo Qingyun was depressed, he also raised his guard to prevent Zhuo Meng from harboring ill intentions. After all, he and Zhuo Meng had just met, and he did not know Zhuo Meng well. If he kept Zhuo Meng by his side, putting aside her safety, it would be inconvenient for him to do things. Seeing Mo Qingyun's hesitation, Zhuo Meng's eyes glowed. She looked aggrieved and said, "Ancestor Luo left a Saint Power brand on me. If you don't protect me, I won't be able to escape from their clutches." Hearing Zhuo Meng's words, Mo Qingyun immediately frowned and released his soul power to sense it. Tong Chai had left a Saint Power brand on him, so he was very sensitive to the Saint Power brand and could easily sense its existence. There really is a Saint Power brand. Under Mo Qingyun's probing, he discovered that Zhuo Meng's neck had really been branded with Saint Power. If he did not protect Zhuo Meng, she would really be captured again. At this moment, he did not have the ability to help Zhuo Meng remove the Saint Power brand. If he wanted to protect Zhuo Meng, he could only keep Zhuo Meng by his side. If that's the case, you can follow me. Mo Qingyun hesitated for a moment and decided to let Zhuo Meng follow him. However, he did not forget to remind her, "First of all, although I'm letting you follow me, I don't have time to accompany you to collect medicinal herbs." "That's not a problem." Zhuo Meng nodded nonchalantly in response to Mo Qingyun's words. She said, "In the second round of the Alchemy Master competition, you need to be at least a peak 6-star Alchemy Master to be in the top 10. With my ability as a 5-star Alchemy Master, it's not enough. I've already given up on the second round of the competition. If that's the case, let's go." After discussing with Zhuo Meng, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste any time and set off for the next location. Seeing Mo Qingyun setting off, Zhuo Meng did not linger and immediately followed behind Mo Qingyun. Zhuo Meng was curious as she followed behind Mo Qingyun. She asked, "In the second round of the Alchemy Master competition, you need to be at least a 6-star Alchemy Master to be in the top 100. Are you a 6-star Alchemy Master?" "You can say so." Mo Qingyun smiled faintly in response to Zhuo Meng's speculation. He did not give her a clear answer. Even so, Zhuo Meng could not help but widen her eyes when she heard Mo Qingyun's words. She exclaimed, You're really a 6-star Alchemy Master? Your bone age is only 32 years old. How did you do it?" In Zhuo Meng's opinion, if Mo Qingyun was not a 6-star Alchemy Master, he would not have given her such an answer. "You told me?" Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and asked Zhuo Meng in return. Then, he turned around and continued on his way. Ming could not help but feel a little lost as she looked at Qingyun, who was flying in front of her. A strong sense of curiosity rose in her heart as she said, "He's only 32 years old, but he's already a Daluo Golden Celestial and a 6-star alchemy master. This guy is really mysterious." As far as she knew, she had never seen anyone who was as talented as Qingyun. Chapter 1911. After about an hour, Qingyun and Ming arrived in front of a desert and smelled a strong smell of dust. Looking at the endless desert, Ming was suddenly curious. She couldn't help but ask Qingyun, "What alchemy materials are you looking for? Why did you come to the shadowy desert? If I remember correctly, this place is filled with high-grade herbs." Qingyun didn't answer Ming's surprise question. He walked into the shadow desert and said, "Let's go in first. As for what medicinal herbs I'm looking for, you'll know soon enough." Acting mysterious. Just say it if you don't want to. Seeing Qingyun keeping her in suspense, Ming pouted and said something in a fit of pique. While Ming was sulking, the curiosity on Lin Mingya's face intensified. Swoosh! Not long after Qingyun and Ming advanced, a pale yellow transparent figure suddenly slashed at them with a blade. This pale yellow figure was a creature unique to the Shadow Desert, the Shadow Sand Soul. The Shadow Sand Soul before them wasn't particularly strong. It was only at the 9th heaven Xian immortal realm. Qingyun didn't find it difficult to deal with such a Shadow Sand Soul. He could kill it with a raise of his hand. Get lost. Qingyun's face darkened when he saw the Shadow Sand Soul attacking him. He immediately punched at it. Qingyun didn't circulate his immortal spiritual energy when he punched. It was just a casual punch. Bang! The punch landed on the dark Shadow Sand Soul, which immediately exploded with a powerful impact, causing its body to explode. Then, the Shadow Sand Soul dissipated bit by bit and soon disappeared completely. What kind of monster is this guy? The power of a casual punch is comparable to the full force of a 9th heaven Xian immortal realm. Ming's eyes widened when she saw the power of Qingyun's punch. She couldn't believe what she saw. Let's continue on our way. While Ming was still in shock, Qingyun told her and continued walking into the Shadow Desert. As they ventured deeper into the Shadow Desert, Qingyun and Ming gradually lost their way. Appear. Realizing that the two of them were lost, Qingyun took out the pill recipe and activated the map on the pill recipe. A guiding line quickly appeared on the pill recipe map, guiding the direction Qingyun and Li Qian. Ming's eyes immediately widened when she saw the pill recipe that Qingyun had taken out. She looked at Qingyun in shock and said, "You sense a 7-star pill recipe? The pill formula for the Genesis Fire, the Imperial Flame Golden Pill? Not bad." Seeing that Ming recognized the pill formula, Qingyun did not deny it and responded calmly. Upon hearing Qingyun's words, Ming's beautiful eyes immediately widened as she felt her head buzzing. In other words, Qingyun's true alchemist rank was not 6 stars, but 7 stars. His bone age is only 32 years old, and he is already a 7-star immortal alchemist. At this moment, Ming felt that her brain was not enough to process this. After being stunned for a moment, Ming became even more curious. She quickly walked to Qingyun's side and asked, Qingyun, are you the reincarnation of an ancient alchemist? Otherwise, how could your talent in alchemy be so terrifying? You guessed it? In response to Ming's question, Qingyun pretended to smile mysteriously and did not give a definite answer. Pretending to be mysterious again. Upon hearing Qingyun's answer, Ming was so angry that she stomped her foot. Anger appeared on her face as she said, "I'd like to see how long you can pretend in front of me. One day I'll expose you." Ming muttered to herself. She did not stop walking and hurriedly chased after Qingyun. Along the way, Qingyun and Li Qie encountered some dark shadow sand spirits, but they were all killed by Zhuomeng. Mo Qingyun did not mind Zhuomeng's actions. Everything was as she pleased. Moreover, with Zhuomeng dealing with the dark shadow sand spirits, he could save some effort. After about 15 minutes, Mo Qingyun and Li Qiye came to the quicksand whirlpool and stopped moving forward. This is it. Let's go down. Looking at the location indicated on the map, Mo Qingyun nodded to Zhuomeng and jumped into the quicksand whirlpool. Seeing Mo Qingyun jump into the quicksand whirlpool, Zhuomeng did not hesitate and jumped in with Mo Qingyun. Disperse. When Mo Qingyun jumped into the quicksand whirlpool, he threw a palm forward and blasted a big hole in the quicksand whirlpool. Then, a path leading to the underground appeared in front of Mo Qingyun and Li Qiye. Soon, Mo Qingyun and Li Qiye passed through the quicksand whirlpool and came to an underground tomb. What is this smell? It smells so bad. As soon as they entered the underground tomb, a pungent smell appeared. Zhuomeng could not help but cover her nose. Hearing Zhuomeng's words, Mo Qingyun's expression turned solemn. He glanced around and said, "This is the smell of rotting corpses. Only places with a large number of rotting corpses will grow the 1,000-corpse golden soul flower. The alchemist temple actually built such a place to grow a kind of herb. It seems that they're not kind people." After listening to Mo Qingyun's explanation, Zhuomeng's face was full of disdain. She mocked the alchemist temple. Mo Qingyun did not comment on Zhuomeng's words. He agreed with Zhuomeng's point of view. Under normal circumstances, the 1,000-corpse golden soul flower grew in the emperor's mausoleum. Under normal circumstances, it was very difficult to find. However, some of the major forces of alchemy would build a mausoleum full of rotting corpses for the convenience of collecting. Therefore, it was not strange that the alchemist temple built such a mausoleum to cultivate the 1,000-corpse golden soul flower. Let's go. After sizing up the surrounding environment, Mo Qingyun signaled to Zhuomeng and walked into the depths of the mausoleum. As they went deeper into the mausoleum, Mo Qingyun found that there were many powerful formations to stabilize the interior of the mausoleum. In addition, there were also spirit-gathering formations set up in every corner of the mausoleum. After Mo Qingyun turned left and right, they finally came to the place where the corpses were piled up. It was a huge pit of corpses. At the bottom of the pit, there were countless corpses piled up. At a glance, there were more than 1,000,000 corpses. More than 1,000,000 corpses was a terrifying number. This represented more than 1,000,000 cultivators. Most of these corpses were not complete. Many of them only had a small part left, and they were all broken and incomplete. What a cruel method! Looking at the state of the corpses below, Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng couldn't bear it. They couldn't help but frown. While Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng's hearts were heavy, a hoarse voice came from a corner of the mausoleum. "Kikik, don't panic. There are even crueler methods waiting for you two to experience." As soon as these words fell, an aura of an 8th-level 9-heaven Xian immortal crushed towards them. Chapter 1912. Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng's expressions immediately tensed up when they were suppressed by this imposing aura, and they looked vigilantly towards the source of the voice. They saw a skinny old man riding on the shoulder of a tall zombie, slowly approaching them. An 8th-level 9 heavens Xian immortal realm expert. Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng exchanged glances when they sensed the imposing aura on the old man, and they saw the shock in each other's eyes. Most importantly, the tall zombie that the old man sat on was an 8th-level 9 heavens Xian immortal realm existence as well. In this way, even though the old man was only one person, his true combat strength was probably even stronger than the 4 ancestors of the Luo clan added together. This is troublesome. What should we do now? Zhuomeng's beautiful face tensed up when she saw this scene, and she secretly pulled on the corner of Mo Qingyun's clothes. Zhuomeng's current appearance was like a child that had made a mistake and was waiting to be punished by a senior. Mo Qingyun shook his head when he saw Zhuomeng's actions, and he said with a faint smile, "Don't be afraid. Leave everything to me. Nothing will happen." Meng nodded. She didn't doubt Mo Qingyun's words, and an indescribable trust arose in her heart. While Mo Qingyun and Meng were whispering, the old man's gaze flashed past Mo Qingyun, and he said with pleasant surprise, "A body comparable to a saint artifact. If I possess such a body, then I have nothing to fear, even if it is Saint Realm expert." Mo Qingyun guessed the old man's thoughts when he heard this, but he wasn't surprised in the slightest, because not long ago, he'd already experienced the same thing twice, so it wasn't strange for him to encounter it again. After carefully sizing up Mo Qingyun, the old man looked at Meng and said with a gloomy smile, "Little girl, I'll give you a choice now. If you leave the tomb now, then I'll spare your life. How about it?" Meng's beautiful face immediately changed when she heard this, and her delicate figure couldn't help but tremble. She was very clear about the old man's meaning. The old man was telling her that so long as she didn't meddle in other people's business, then she could keep her life. But for her to abandon Mo Qingyun and not care about him was too difficult for her. I, Meng, am not someone who is afraid of death. I will never abandon Mo Qingyun." Meng hesitated for a moment. She no longer hesitated and responded to the old man with a firm expression. Seeing Meng's attitude, the old man frowned slightly and his eyes gradually turned cold. He sensed the Saint Power brand on Meng's body, which made him a little worried. However, if Meng did not appreciate his kindness, he would not care so much. He would not hesitate even if he had to offend a Saint Realm expert. Therefore, he was determined to obtain Mo Qingyun's physical body. "You sure are lucky." The old man glanced at Meng, then turned to look at Mo Qingyun. He smiled faintly and said, "Kid, this girl is so affectionate and righteous. You don't want to see her die here with you, do you?" "Old man, we're all sensible people. You don't have to play this game with me." Mo Qingyun smiled sarcastically at the old man's provocation. He turned to Meng and said, "You leave the tomb first. Leave this place to me. After I have dealt with this old man, I will come and find you." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Meng immediately showed an aggrieved expression, and the corners of her eyes turned slightly red. She naturally understood that Mo Qingyun wanted her to leave now because he did not want her to be in danger. More importantly, once she left the tomb, Mo Qingyun's chances of escaping would be even smaller. "I'm not leaving. If we leave together." Meng showed a stubborn expression, as if she wanted to die together with Mo Qingyun. She said, "Anyway, if you die, once the ancestors of the Luo clan catch up to me, I will not be able to survive either." Looking at the scene before him, the old man grinned, and a sinister look flashed in his eyes. He said, "You are so affectionate and righteous. In that case, this old man can only fulfill your wish and let the two of you die together." As the old man's words fell, he waved his hand and controlled a large group of zombies to attack. Looking at the large group of zombies approaching quickly, Mo Qingyun's expression turned solemn. He immediately shouted at Meng, "I told you to leave quickly. Didn't you hear me? Do you want to stay and drag me down? Will you only be happy when I die?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Meng immediately felt wronged. She said with a glimmer of light in the corner of her eyes, "Mo Qingyun, you big idiot. I will leave, okay? If you dare not come find me. Even if you become a ghost, I, Meng, will not let you go." As soon as Meng finished speaking, she flew towards the exit of the tomb with a face full of tears. Seeing that Meng had finally left, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed, and he completely let go of the worries in his heart. The blood of the God clan in his body was his biggest secret, and he could not let others know for now. Because once this secret was exposed, he would not be able to continue staying in the Immortal Clan's territory, and it would affect his ability to obtain the Nirvana Elixir of Creation's recipe. The Nirvana Elixir of Creation's recipe was related to Qian Linglong's life and death. Mo Qingyun could not allow the slightest mistake. Therefore, letting Meng leave was the best choice. Only then would he be able to act without any worries. "Kid, You really have some guts. No wonder that girl has such deep feelings for you. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, the old man praised Mo Qingyun, and the smile on his face deepened. He said, having guts is a good thing, but in the current situation, do you think there's any meaning in resisting? Seeing Mo Qingyun's cautious expression, the old man could not help but ask. He felt that Mo Qingyun was struggling before his death. It was normal for the old man to have such thoughts. After all, the difference in cultivation level between him and Mo Qingyun was too great. Old man, I think you're mistaken. Hearing the old man's words, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and shook his head. He said, I'll let Zhuomeng leave not because I want to stay here and wait for death. I let her leave so that I can counterattack without any worries. Counterattack? The old man was stunned, and a sense of confusion rose in his heart. He did not understand where Mo Qingyun got his confidence from. Just as the old man was puzzled, a large group of ghosts with powerful auras suddenly appeared beside Mo Qingyun. Kill! After Mo Qingyun summoned the ghosts, the old man did not hesitate and immediately ordered the ghosts to attack. After receiving Mo Qingyun's order, the ghosts roared and charged towards the attacking zombies. Ghosts? Ghosts of the nine heavens, Xian, immortal realm? Looking at the ghosts fighting with the zombies, the old man could not help but widen his eyes. He had not expected this scene. A Daluo golden celestial kid could actually summon ghosts of the nine heavens, Xian, immortal realm. This ability was too demonic. Chapter 1913. Outside the tomb of the hidden corpse. Zhuomeng came out of the tomb and stopped in her tracks. She looked at the sand vortex with a complicated gaze. Was she really going to leave just like that? Mo Qingyun's words were clearly meant to anger her. He didn't want her to die with him. If she really left like that, she would be abandoning Mo Qingyun and escaping by herself. Zhuomeng wiped away her tears. A mischievous smile appeared on her face. Mo Qingyun, you big idiot. Do you really think you can make me leave just by saying a few angry words? I won't fall for your trick. Zhuomeng muttered to herself. She didn't hesitate any longer and jumped into the sand vortex. Soon, Zhuomeng passed through the sand vortex and returned to the tomb. What a terrifying battle! Zhuomeng had just entered the tomb when she sensed a wave of immortal spirit energy. She hurried over with a nervous expression. Zhuomeng's figure drifted down several times. She arrived at the place from before and saw a scene that shocked her. As far as the eye could see, there were hundreds and thousands of ghosts and zombies crazily fighting each other. Zhuomeng was stunned on the spot. It was as if she had been petrified. This situation was far too different from what she had imagined. What's that door of light? Sensing the mysterious power in the tomb, Zhuomeng looked up at the sky above the tomb and saw the combination door. After curiously sizing up the combination door, Zhuomeng withdrew her attention and anxiously looked for Mo Qingyun. Where's Mo Qingyun? Why isn't he here? Looking around and not seeing Mo Qingyun, Zhuomeng's expression immediately tensed up. Her gaze dimmed. Could it be that he's already? The more Zhuomeng thought about it, the more afraid and guilty she became. She immediately searched the surrounding passages. After a short while, Zhuomeng saw Mo Qingyun and Mo Qingyun fighting in a passage. She finally relaxed. At this moment, Mo Qingyun had transformed into a shadow dragon and was fighting fiercely with the corpse controller old man. Nine heavens, Xian, immortal realm. Sensing Mo Qingyun's aura, Zhuomeng's eyes widened again. She couldn't believe her eyes. Earlier, Mo Qingyun was still at the golden immortal realm. So how did his cultivation become at the 7th level of the nine heavens profound immortal realm in the blink of an eye? This kind of speed of improvement was simply too shocking. Looking at Mo Qingyun fighting with the old man, Zhuomeng could not help but widen her beautiful eyes. She was secretly shocked. Could it be that Mo Qingyun's words earlier were not to make me leave, but that he really has the confidence to fight with the old man? The more Zhuomeng thought about it, the more frightened she became. She felt that her brain wasn't enough to process all of a sudden. If that was really the case, then Mo Qingyun's true battle prowess was simply too terrifying. Zhuomeng, why is she back? As soon as Zhuomeng appeared here, Mo Qingyun noticed her and frowned slightly. It seemed that some of his secrets had been exposed, and it was impossible to hide them anymore. Since I've been exposed, then I'll fight with all my strength. Let's deal with this trouble first. Mo Qingyun's mind spun quickly, and he made a decision. He would deal with the old man first. Kid, you dare to be distracted while fighting with me? You're courting death. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, the old man's face darkened, and he waved the withered bone magic staff in his hand forward. Then, the eyes of the withered bone magic staff flashed with a gloomy green light. When this green light appeared, it was like a fog that quickly spread throughout the tomb. After a while, the green light spread into the pit of corpses and shone on the corpses in the pit. Under the illumination of the green light, the corpses in the pit of corpses immediately crawled up one by one. Corpse Demon Dark Curse. Sensing the corpses crawling up from the pit of corpses, the old man waved the withered bone magic staff again and quickly condensed a handprint. Then, the withered bone magic staff floated in the air and spun at high speed, emitting a terrifying suction force. In a short while, a nauseating cold corpse chi gathered around the withered bone magic staff. The corpse chi gathered around the withered bone magic staff and turned into corpse demon shadows, flying towards Mo Qingyun at high speed. In a short while, Mo Qingyun's escape route was sealed off by these corpse demon shadows. After trapping Mo Qingyun in the middle, the corpse demon shadows let out shrill screeches, creating waves of soul-stirring sound waves. The ghost face sound waves blasted into Mo Qingyun's knowledge C at high speed, attacking his primordial spirit. Unfortunately, Mo Qingyun's primordial spirit was not in his knowledge C, but cultivating on the Fortune mainland. Therefore, the old man's method had no effect on Mo Qingyun. Puff! Although Mo Qingyun was unscathed, Zhuomeng, who was standing not far away, suffered injuries to her primordial spirit, vomiting blood. Seeing that Zhuomeng's mind was injured, Mo Qingyun's expression turned solemn. He quickly came to her side and said, "This old ghost is good at soul attacks. Your soul force is not as strong as his. Immediately retreat outside the battle circle." Okay. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Zhuomeng dared not hesitate and immediately retreated outside the battle circle. She knew that if she continued to stay, she would be a burden to Mo Qingyun. Emperor Seal, murderous spirit eyes. After instructing Zhuomeng to leave the battle circle, Mo Qingyun counterattacked the old man. A gray light flashed in his left eye. A terrifying soul force blasted out from Mo Qingyun's left eye, turning into a strange imprint. The imprint's attack speed was extremely fast. Before the old man could react, it had already entered his knowledge C. After being hit by Mo Qingyun's soul attack, the old man immediately screamed, and his control over the withered bone magic staff weakened a little. Following that, the attacks of the corpse demons surrounding Mo Qingyun also weakened. Sword Array / Seeing that the attacks of the corpse demons had weakened, Mo Qingyun immediately controlled the ancient sword to attack the surrounding corpse demons. Under the control of Mo Qingyun, the 16 ancient swords immediately bloomed with dazzling sword light. It was as if 10,000 swords were released at the same time. Puff, puff, puff. Under the powerful bombardment of the sword light, the surrounding corpse demons instantly collapsed and turned back into corpse chi. After defeating the corpse devil that had trapped him, Mo Qingyun stepped on the ancient sword and approached the old man like he was riding the wind and breaking the waves. It didn't take long for Mo Qingyun to arrive in the sky above the old man, and he raised his hand and slammed it down towards the old man. Demonic star, splitting palm. A terrifying immortal spiritual energy gathered on Mo Qingyun's palm and quickly spread to Mo Qingyun's entire body. A huge demonic god shadow, emitting a monstrous demonic aura, waved his palm to suppress the old man. This is the bloodline ability of the Heavenly Soul Demon Clan. This kid is actually from the God Clan. Seeing Mo Qingyun's palm, the old man was shocked. He recognized the origin of Mo Qingyun's palm. After knowing Mo Qingyun's origin, the old man immediately retreated. He did not dare to confront Mo Qingyun directly. Chapter 1914. Heavenly Dipper Corpse Shield. Looking at the huge palm that blotted out the sky and smashed down with the force of Mount Tai, the old man immediately moved to block it. The old man's hands danced quickly, and his shriveled fingers with long, thin nails formed hand seals. When these hand seals were formed, they sank into the withered bone wand, causing the wand to shine brightly. At the same time, the withered bone wand spun quickly, and a black light shield flew out from it. When the black light shield was formed, it grew rapidly and covered the old man in the blink of an eye. In just a short moment, the black light shield became as big as a house. Roar! Suddenly, a gigantic zombie shadow appeared inside the black light shield, exuding a destructive aura. When a gigantic zombie shadow appeared, it exuded a horrible corpse aura, which quickly seeped into the black light shield, increasing the defensive power of the light shield by several times. Boom! At this moment, the heavenly demon star-splitting palm hit the black light shield, producing a loud noise that shook the sky. A terrifying energy wave spread out from the black light shield and swept out in all directions at an extremely fast speed. Seeing the horrible power of the energy wave, Zhuangming didn't dare to hesitate and quickly retreated. Bang! Bang! Some of the zombies and ghosts that were unable to dodge in time were immediately blasted into pieces by the powerful shockwaves. In just a moment, hundreds of ghosts and zombies were blasted into nothingness. What a terrible aftermath of the battle. Looking at the dead zombies and ghosts, Zhuangming was shocked, and her heart couldn't calm down for a long time. She was sure that if she was hit by the aftermath of the battle, she wouldn't have much of a difference. After a short while, when the aftermath of the battle calmed down, Mo Qingyun and the old man appeared again. Crack! Crack! At this moment, cracks began to appear on the old man's withered bone wand, as if it was about to fall apart. Seeing this, the old man's pupils shrank and his face stiffened. The old man reacted quickly. Seeing that the situation was not right, he immediately abandoned the withered bone wand and ran for his life. Bang! While the corpse controller elder was fleeing for his life, the withered bone magic staff exploded, turning into a pile of bone powder. The moment the withered bone magic staff shattered, the demonic star-splitting palm struck the corpse controller old man and sent him flying. Puff! After being hit by Mo Qingyun's palm, the old man immediately spat out a mouthful of blood, and his face became even paler. The old man flew back 1,000 meters before stabilizing his body. He glanced at Mo Qingyun and said, "Brat, this old man will remember today's grudge. In the future, this old man will pay you back double." 10,000 corpse doppelganger escape. As soon as the old man finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and immediately used a secret technique to escape. Mo Qingyun's methods were very powerful, and he was not someone he could deal with at the moment. He had to leave this place. Suddenly, the old man's body exploded, turning into tens of thousands of corpse chi, fleeing in different directions. Seeing that the old man had used a secret technique to escape, Mo Qingyun did not chase after him. Instead, he watched indifferently as the old man left. He knew very well that these old men who had lived for many years had very powerful life-saving abilities. No, the 4 Luo ancestors and the old man from before were obviously not immortal alchemists. How did they come in? Thinking back to the 4 Luo ancestors, Mo Qingyun was puzzled and curious about their appearance. There must be a lot of secrets that he didn't know about. Forget it. Let's not think about it. Let's find 1,000 corpse golden soul flower first. Retracting his gaze from the old man, Mo Qingyun looked at the bottom of the corpse pit, looking for the thousand corpse golden soul flower. This place was full of powerful corpses, which was the best environment for the thousand corpse golden soul flower to grow. There must be one here. Over there. Mo Qingyun looked around and saw 3,000 corpse golden soul flowers in an inconspicuous corner. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun's figure moved and came to the side of the thousand corpse golden soul flower. Collect. Coming to the side of the thousand corpse golden soul flower, Mo Qingyun immediately took out a pill recipe and collected the flowers. After putting away the thousand corpse golden soul flower, Mo Qingyun returned to Zhuo Meng's side, saying, "Your injuries are not light. Go to the side and recuperate. I will stand guard for you." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words of concern, Zhuo Meng did not force herself and immediately sat down to heal her injuries. While Zhuo Meng was recovering, Mo Qingyun did not stay idle and continued to kill the zombies. Before long, under Mo Qingyun's powerful attacks, the old man's zombies were all killed. Then, Mo Qingyun removed the merged state and kept the ghosts on the Fortune mainland. "Master, take away all these zombies. This subordinate wants to refine them to improve my cultivation." Looking at the rotting corpses in the pit, the seven-headed green flood dragon begged Mo Qingyun with a pleading expression. Hearing the seven-headed green Jiao's request, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and sent the zombies into the Fortune mainland. After sending the zombies to the Fortune mainland, Mo Qingyun sent the seven-headed green Jiao into his soul palace before sitting down cross-legged beside Zhuo Meng. Time trickled by. About half a day later, Zhuo Meng's complexion improved and she exited from her cultivation. "I'm fine now. Let's continue our journey." After stabilizing her injuries, Zhuo Meng stopped cultivating and suggested to Mo Qingyun to continue their journey. She knew that Mo Qingyun needed to collect a large amount of materials to refine the 7-star immortal pills. She could not delay Mo Qingyun's time just because of her injuries, which would affect the collection of materials. All right. Sensing Zhuo Meng's condition, Mo Qingyun did not decline and flew out of the tomb. He could sense that although Zhuo Meng's injuries had not fully healed, they had stabilized. As long as they did not engage in any fierce battles, it would not matter if her primordial spirit was injured. Mo Qingyun, you're from the god race? Following beside Mo Qingyun, Zhuo Meng's eyes widened as she asked curiously. That's right, I'm from the heavenly soul devil race. Mo Qingyun did not hide anything from Zhuo Meng's question. He nodded and smiled. Now that you know my identity, you won't leak it out, will you? That would kill me. Oof. What kind of person do you take me for? Is this the impression I have in your heart? Hearing Mo Qingyun's joking words, Zhuo Meng pretended to be displeased and harumphed. Her eyes revealed a trace of grievance. She felt that Mo Qingyun was asking her this because he was extremely worried about her. Seeing Zhuo Meng's aggrieved expression, Mo Qingyun realized that he had misspoken and hurriedly said, "I'm just joking with you. If you were really that kind of person, why would you leave the tomb and come back without caring about your life?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Zhuo Meng immediately smiled and glared at Mo Qingyun. Chapter 19:15. Don't just flatter me. I don't buy it. Zhuo Meng pretended to be unhappy and glared at Mo Qingyun. Then she smiled slyly. "If you dare do that again, I'll tell everyone your secret." Seeing Zhuo Meng's actions, Mo Qingyun finally let go of his worries. He knew that Zhuo Meng wasn't serious. She was just joking. If Zhuo Meng really did have such thoughts, she definitely wouldn't have said it. "No, I don't want it to happen again." Under Zhuo Meng's gaze, Mo Qingyun hurriedly shook his head and told her his thoughts. His identity had been exposed once. He didn't want to expose it again and let more people know who he was. He couldn't guarantee that others wouldn't keep his identity a secret like Zhuo Meng did. Seeing Mo Qingyun's pained expression, Zhuo Meng covered her mouth and smiled. She blinked and asked curiously, "Where are we going next?" Under Zhuo Meng's inquiry, Mo Qingyun took out the pill recipe and chose the next destination. Silver Moon Valley. Glancing at the pill recipe map, Mo Qingyun confirmed the next location and waved his hand to pick up the pill recipe. After choosing the next destination, Mo Qingyun didn't waste any more time and hurried to Silver Moon Valley with Zhuomeng. Mo Qingyun, since you're a Sky Soul demon, why did you take the pill demon ancestor as your master? He's an ancient expert of the immortal race. On the way to Silver Moon Valley, Zhuomeng was curious and confused. She asked Mo Qingyun again, "And you took the pill demon ancestor as your master. Aren't you afraid that your identity will be exposed? Aren't you afraid that he'll be angry and do something to you?" I had such concerns at first, but I realized later that my worries were completely unnecessary. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and shook his head in response to Zhuomeng's question. He said calmly, "Master's way of thinking is very different from ordinary people. In his eyes, there's no difference between gods and immortals. There's only the right to be his disciple. You are so lucky to have met such a good master." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Zhuomeng showed an envious expression. She sighed and said, "My luck is not as good as yours. I have been trained as a pawn since I was a child in order to participate in the Alchemy Master Trial and release the 4 ancestors of Luo who were imprisoned here. The Sacred Medicine Valley is the place where the Temple of Alchemists grows immortal herbs. Why would the Shura clan's patriarch Luo be imprisoned here?" Mo Qingyun's doubts were aroused when he heard Zhuomeng mention this matter. He could not help but ask Zhuomeng, "Also, how did you know that the 4 Luo ancestors were imprisoned in the Sacred Medicine Valley? It seems that you know very little about the Sacred Medicine Valley. It's not as simple as it seems." Zhuomeng became stern when she heard Mo Qingyun's words. She seemed to be reminiscing. "According to the seniors of my clan, the Saint Medicine Valley seems to be a place to grow celestial medicines on the surface, but it's actually made up of the remains of countless sections. Each location is the remains of an ancient organization. So that's how it is." Mo Qingyun was enlightened when he heard Zhuomeng's explanation. Most of his doubts were answered. He thought to himself, "No wonder there are so many old monsters here other than the immortal alchemists. It seems that they're all hiding in the remains, biding their time and recovering their strength bit by bit. They will leave the Sacred Medicine Valley when the time is right." Rumor has it that many people have obtained great opportunities in the Sacred Medicine Valley. This is also the reason why everyone is fighting to come here. Zhuomeng then told Mo Qingyun a little more about the Sacred Medicine Valley. She suggested, "Mo Qingyun, I think you can also look for some remains when you are collecting the herbs." "All right." Mo Qingyun nodded and accepted Zhuomeng's suggestion. He understood a little more and said, "So there are many remains here. It's no wonder that the Sacred Medicine Valley is so dangerous. The geniuses of the various organizations are so happy to come here." It seemed that everyone's purpose in participating in the alchemist trial was related to these secret lands. Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng chatted as they walked toward the Silver Moon Valley. The Silver Moon Valley was not far from the Umber Desert. Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng flew for half a day and arrived at a huge valley. It was a silver valley. There was a silver fruit tree growing in the valley. Its leaves were shaped like crescent moons. "Let's go in." Mo Qingyun nodded to Zhuomeng after looking at the valley in front of him. He took the lead and walked into the valley. Thump, thump, thump. Mo Qingyun had just taken a few steps when his eyes began to twitch violently. He felt a strong sense of danger. As soon as this feeling appeared, Mo Qingyun stopped in his tracks and glanced around with a tense expression. "What's wrong?" Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, Zhuomeng was puzzled. She did not understand why he suddenly stopped. Mo Qingyun did not answer Zhuomeng's question. Instead, he slowly closed his eyes. Spiritual turtle transformation. Soon, Mo Qingyun's body changed and turned into a huge black turtle. Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and immediately used the spiritual turtle transformation. A hazy image appeared in front of Mo Qingyun, constantly changing. This is the Silver Moon Valley and the Luo Patriarch. Zhuomeng was shocked when she saw the hazy image in front of her. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. If she guessed correctly, the divine power that Mo Qingyun was using now was a means of predicting the future. Boy, it seems that we have underestimated you. I didn't expect you to know the means of the divine legacy tribe. Humph. A Daluo, golden, immortal boy dares to meddle in our business. Damn boy, you killed my third brother. I will burn your bones and scatter your ashes. When Mo Qingyun used the spiritual turtle transformation, a few angry voices came from the Silver Moon Valley. Then, Mo Qingyun saw a few familiar figures. They were the three Luo patriarchs who had escaped earlier. Luo patriarchs, they are really here. Zhuameng's face turned pale when she saw the three Luo patriarchs approaching rapidly. The shock in her eyes deepened. What shocked Zhuameng even more was the cultivation of the three Luo patriarchs. They had all broken through to the 8th level of the 9 Heavens Xian Immortal Realm. Mo Qingyun, let's go. Zhuameng panicked when she learned the cultivation of the three Luo patriarchs. She urged Mo Qingyun. Seeing Zhuameng's action, the 4 Luo patriarchs sneered and said fiercely, "Humph, the last time we broke through the seal, we accidentally fell into this boy's ambush. You won't be so lucky this time. You two should obediently accept your deaths." Is that so? A faint smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's face when he heard the 4 Luo patriarchs. A mocking look flashed in his eyes. He said, "Last time, I couldn't use some of my trump cards because of some reasons. The 3 of you escaped. You won't be so lucky this time." Chapter 1916. If you don't want to run away, then everything will be easy. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was prepared to stay and fight, the 4th Luo ancestor sneered. "Since you are so confident, I will show you my true power." As soon as the 4th Luo ancestor finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and immediately activated the immortal spiritual power in his body. The black immortal spiritual power exploded from the 4th Luo ancestor's body like a dark cloud, instantly covering the entire sky. Boom, boom, boom. The black immortal spiritual power filled the air, exuding a terrifying pressure and flashing lightning. It was as if the 9 Heavens thunder tribulation was descending, causing people to be afraid. Heavenless demon octopus boundary. Following the 4th Luo ancestor's angry roar, the black immortal spiritual power that had gathered in the air suddenly emitted a sinister black light. Following that, huge black pillars of light descended from the sky one after another. The black pillars of light were like the bars of a cage, trapping Mo Qingyun and the 4th Luo ancestor inside. Before Mo Qingyun could recover from his shock, tentacles with bone spikes whipped wildly toward him. Heavenly demon, star-splitting palm. Looking at the rapidly approaching bone spikes, Mo Qingyun did not dare to face them head-on. He immediately blasted a palm toward the bone spikes. A terrifying immortal spiritual power quickly gathered on Mo Qingyun's palm and enveloped Mo Qingyun in the blink of an eye. Then, the immortal spiritual power turned into a demon shadow and waved its arm toward the bone spikes. Bang, 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 under the palm of the demon god shadow. The incoming bony tentacles instantly collapsed and turned back into immortal spiritual energy. However, there were just too many bone spikes. As soon as the bone spikes in front of them collapsed, the ones behind them attacked Mo Qingyun again. Shadow Dragon Transformation. Facing the incoming bone spikes, Mo Qingyun did not dare to be careless and immediately transformed into the Shadow Dragon Transformation. Mo Qingyun transformed into the Shadow Dragon Transformation, and his movement speed immediately increased by more than 10 times. As Mo Qingyun's speed increased, he easily avoided the bone spikes that attacked him. You have some ability. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, the 4th Patriarch smiled coldly. His gaze fell on Zhuameng, and he said, "Brat, although you can avoid the attack of the spiky tentacles, this girl doesn't have that ability. Didn't you want to save her? Let's see how you're going to save her now." As soon as the 4th Luo ancestor finished speaking, He controlled the bone thorn tentacles and whipped them towards Wumeng. Seeing the actions of the four ancestors, Mo Qingyun's expression immediately tensed up. He quickly flew towards Wumeng. Go! Mo Qingyun came to Wumeng's side. He didn't wait for Wumeng to come back to her senses and quickly brought Wumeng away. Then, a series of intimidating bone spike tentacles swept past Mo Qingyun and the other man. Humph. This old man wants to see how long you can dodge for. Looking at Mo Qingyun and Wumeng inside the boundary, the fourth Luo ancestor's face darkened. He gnashed his teeth and shouted angrily. While the fourth Luo ancestor was enraged, his attacks became fiercer, causing the speed of the bone thorn tentacles to increase. As the speed of the bone thorn tentacles increased, Mo Qingyun and Wumeng's situation immediately became more worrisome. The duration of the Shadow Dragon transformation is limited. We can't keep dodging. We have to find a way to break this boundary. While he was dodging with Wumeng, Mo Qingyun's mind was quickly thinking of a way to change the situation before him. Mo Qingyun's mind worked quickly. He summoned the ghosts and let them block the attack of the bone thorn tentacles. Soon, a large group of ghosts appeared inside the boundary and blocked the attack of the bone thorn tentacles. With the ghosts sharing the attack, the pressure on Mo Qingyun was greatly reduced. He tried to break the boundary set up by the fourth Luo ancestor. Demonic Star Splitting Palm. Following Mo Qingyun's thought, the demon god Shadow immediately waved his palm and blasted it toward the boundary's light beam. Chi Chi Chi. The huge palm Shadow blasted the light beam and immediately bloomed with dazzling light. It was so dazzling that the onlookers could not open their eyes. After a while, the palm Shadow dissipated little by little, but the boundary's light beam was not damaged at all. What a strong defense. Physical attacks are almost ineffective. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun's heart thumped. He had a clear direction to work on. It seems that if I want to break the boundaries set up by the fourth Luo ancestor, I can only start with a soul attack. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, the fourth Luo ancestor smiled proudly and said, "Boy, unless your cultivation is higher than this old man's by a realm, don't even think about breaking my heavenless demon octopus boundary. I advise you to save your strength." Mo Qingyun did not pay any attention to the fourth Luo ancestor's proud words. He immediately used a soul attack. A terrifying soul force turned into a sharp ray of eye power and blasted out from Mo Qingyun's left eye. The ray of eye power shot out from Mo Qingyun's eye and blasted into the boundary's light beam. It forcefully collided with the boundary's light beam. To Mo Qingyun's surprise, as soon as the ray of eye power came into contact with the boundary's light beam, it directly passed through. This result was far beyond Mo Qingyun's expectations. It passed through. Seeing this result, Mo Qingyun frowned and thought, "It seems that it's impossible to break the boundaries set up by the fourth Luo ancestor through a soul attack." While Mo Qingyun was thinking, the fourth Luo ancestor's smile widened and he looked even more proud. He said, "Boy, this old man has already told you that if you want to break my heavenless demon octopus boundary, your cultivation must be higher than mine by a realm. It seems that forcefully breaking the boundary won't work. I'll have to find another way." After 2 failed attempts, Mo Qingyun immediately understood that there was no hope of breaking the boundary. Not wanting to forcefully break the boundary, Mo Qingyun's mind spun, and he immediately came up with a new idea. Since Soul Force can pass through, perhaps I can use a soul attack to deal with the fourth Luo ancestor outside the boundary. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun took out the God Shooter Bow and prepared to use it to attack the fourth Luo ancestor. As long as he killed the fourth Luo ancestor, the boundary that trapped him would naturally break. Whoosh! A beam of soul power carrying Saint's might turned into a sharp arrow and shot out from the God Shooter Bow. The soul power arrow left the God Shooter Bow and disappeared in a flash. In the blink of an eye, it arrived in front of the fourth Luo ancestor and blasted toward his head. "Boy, this trick of yours can work once, but it won't work if you use it too many times." Faced with the overbearing attack of the soul power arrow, the fourth Luo ancestor smiled disdainfully, and his figure flashed quickly. Then, the sharp soul power arrow was easily dodged by the fourth Luo ancestor. He dodged it. His reaction is quite fast. Mo Qingyun didn't care about the fourth Luo ancestor dodging the soul power arrow. Instead, a faint smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Chapter 1917. Kid, after all this time, you only know this move. It seems that I have overestimated you. Seeing Mo Qingyun shoot another arrow, the disdain on the fourth Luo ancestor's face deepened. His disdain for Mo Qingyun grew. Even if Mo Qingyun shot an attack of this level 100 times, or even 1,000 times, it would still be difficult to hurt him. Swoosh! As the fourth Luo ancestor spoke, another soul power arrow was shot towards him. In the blink of an eye, it was right in front of him. Seeing the soul power arrow approaching him, the fourth Luo ancestor's figure flashed again and easily dodged Mo Qingyun's arrow. Once again, the attack was dodged by the fourth Luo ancestor. Mo Qingyun did not care and shot another arrow. Kid, are you done yet? Mo Qingyun's repeated attacks finally annoyed the fourth Luo ancestor. The fourth Luo ancestor shouted, I have already said that this move of yours is useless against me. Don't you understand human language? Useless? I don't think so. Looking at the furious fourth Luo ancestor, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly. He had no intention of stopping. As soon as he finished speaking, another soul power arrow flew out from the god shooter Bao at an extremely fast speed. However, the result was the same. As the soul power arrow approached the fourth Luo ancestor, he easily dodged it. Following that, Mo Qingyun continued to shoot, shooting out arrow shadows after arrow shadows with sharp auras. However, all the soul power arrows were dodged by the fourth Luo ancestor time and time again. Although the fourth Luo ancestor dodged the arrows again and again, his mood became worse and worse. His face became gloomier and gloomier. In his opinion, Mo Qingyun's actions were clearly a humiliation to him. He suspected that Mo Qingyun was toying with him like a monkey. Kid, you've gone too far. You have forced me to do this. In his rage, the fourth sifting ancestor finally lost his mind. He didn't want to play with Mo Qingyun anymore. He shouted, Since you're so eager to die, I'll remove the enchantment now and let you be a pair of lovebirds. As soon as the fourth Luo ancestor finished speaking, he formed a series of hand seals and made a move to remove the barrier. Fourth brother, stop. Seeing the fourth patriarch's action, the great patriarch immediately stopped him and said with a calm expression, This kid used the soul power shadow to attack you. He clearly wants to infuriate you and make you open the heavenless demon octopus enchantment to attack him. If you open the enchantment, you will fall into his trap. What a treacherous brat. This old man almost fell for your trick. After hearing his analysis, the fourth ancestor's expression immediately changed. He calmed down and said, Since you like archery, I'll patiently play with you. Once your ghosts are killed, no one will block the tentacles for you. Let's see how you'll shoot at me then. Never would I have imagined that you all would be able to see through my intentions. Hearing the four ancestors' words, Mo Qingyun grinned, but his hands did not stop moving. Soon, another soul power shadow flew out from the god shooter Bao. Seeing the soul power shadow attack again, the fourth Luo ancestor smiled faintly and quickly dodged the attack. He said, Brat, since you know that I've seen through your trick, why don't you give up and surrender? Mo Qingyun did not reply to the fourth Luo ancestor's words. Instead, he shot another soul power shadow. Perhaps seeing that Mo Qingyun did not have any new tricks, the fourth Luo ancestor let down his guard and instinctively dodged the soul power shadow. Imperial Seal, killing Spirit Eye. At this moment, when the fourth Luo ancestor was dodging, Mo Qingyun suddenly roared. Then, a terrifying spiritual energy blasted out from his left eye. The soul power blasted out from Mo Qingyun's left eye and turned into a strange seal that instantly blasted into the fourth Luo ancestor's sea of consciousness. Being attacked by Mo Qingyun's eye, the fourth Luo ancestor immediately cried out in pain, and his dodging action was interrupted. Following that, the imposing spiritual energy arrow tyrannically blasted into his sea of consciousness. Puff! After being attacked twice in a row, the fourth Luo ancestor immediately spat out blood, and his eyes became unfocused. Then, the aura emitted from the fourth Luo ancestor's body rapidly weakened. Fourth brother. Seeing the fourth Luo ancestor's condition, the great Luo ancestor and the second Luo ancestor were shocked and immediately flew towards him. Let's go. The great Luo ancestor supported the fourth Luo ancestor's body and immediately tensed up. He gave his second Luo ancestor a look. Seeing the great Luo ancestor's hint, the second Luo ancestor did not dare to hesitate and immediately left with the great Luo ancestor. Seeing the three of them escape, Mo Qingyun did not continue to chase after them and let them leave. Break! Retracting his gaze from the three of them, Mo Qingyun blasted a palm at the boundary and directly blasted it apart. As the boundary was blasted apart, the spiky tentacles that attacked Mo Qingyun also disappeared. Withdraw! Coming out of the boundary, Mo Qingyun put away the ghost and sat cross-legged on the spot to meditate. Seeing Mo Qingyun meditating, Zhuomeng stood by his side to guard him and prevent anyone from disturbing him. After a while, Mo Qingyun opened his eyes and withdrew from his cultivation. Let's go. After Mo Qingyun withdrew from his cultivation, he did not waste any more time and directly walked into Silver Moon Valley. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk forward, Zhuomeng immediately followed and entered Silver Moon Valley with Mo Qingyun. To Mo Qingyun's surprise, Silver Moon Valley was not dangerous at all. Everything was calm and peaceful. Mo Qingyun was happy to see this, as it would save him a lot of time. Chapter 1918. As they continued to go deeper into the Silver Moon Valley, the cold air in the valley began to become heavier and heavier. Slowly, the frost on the surrounding vegetation also became thicker and thicker. Not long after, Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng arrived in front of a cliff covered in frost. On the precipice of this cliff, there were fruit trees growing upside down. Each fruit tree only bore one fruit. This was the Silver Moon Frost Heaven fruit that Mo Qingyun was looking for. Collect. Looking at the Silver Moon Frost Heaven fruits, Mo Qingyun immediately took out the pill formula and collected a Silver Moon Frost Heaven fruit. After collecting the Silver Moon Frost Heaven fruit into the pill formula, Mo Qingyun opened the pill formula map and checked the location of the Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Mountain. The Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Mountain is not far away. We also need to go and collect the Blue Jade Dew. We can go and explore. Seeing the location of the Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Mountain and the pill refining materials to collect, Mo Qingyun immediately made a decision. Then, Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng set off for the Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Mountain. About 2 hours later, Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng arrived at the foot of the Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Mountain. Standing at the foot of the Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Mountain, Mo Qingyun saw many figures rushing to the top of the mountain. It seems that the rumors are not false. The Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Mountain really has ruins. Looking at the figures in front of him, the doubts in Mo Qingyun's heart disappeared at this moment. Since he had confirmed the existence of the ruins, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste time. He immediately nodded to Zhuomeng and said, "Let's go quickly, so as not to let others take the initiative." As soon as Mo Qingyun's words fell, his figure moved and took the lead to fly to the top of the mountain. Now you know how to be anxious. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, Zhuomeng covered her mouth and laughed. She immediately followed behind Mo Qingyun. Not long after, Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng arrived at the top of the mountain. It looked like a huge blue palace. The entire palace was built with blue crystals and emitted strong, immortal spiritual energy fluctuations, giving people the feeling of a cultivation treasure land. Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Palace. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, he saw a huge ancient plaque above the entrance of the palace. While Mo Qingyun was observing the Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Palace, a surprised voice was heard not far away from him. Zhuomeng actually came too. Hearing this voice, Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng turned their heads slightly and looked towards the source of the voice. Then, Mo Qingyun saw a familiar face. It was Ziling, who had attacked him before. Zhuomeng, why are you with him? This kid was disrespectful to you before. Seeing Mo Qingyun next to Zhuomeng, Ziling was surprised and quickly provoked Zhuomeng. When Ziling's words provoked him, his heart was also full of shock. He did not expect that Mo Qingyun and Ziling would come together. One must know that Zhuomeng had chased Mo Qingyun before and wanted to kill Mo Qingyun as soon as possible. Now, she came with Mo Qingyun at the same time, which was too contrary to common sense. Of course, what Ziling really cared about was not Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng's reconciliation. Instead, if Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng joined forces, it would be difficult for him to deal with Mo Qingyun. What's wrong? Are you disappointed? Looking at the surprised Ziling, Mo Qingyun smiled and immediately asked him, also, whether Zhuomeng wants to kill me or not, it doesn't seem to have anything to do with you, right? Kid, you... Ziling was immediately speechless by Mo Qingyun's question, his body exuding a chill. In his view, Mo Qingyun's current move was clearly a provocation to him. Ziling thought of this, and his face darkened. He quickly took out a short sword and shouted, Kid, if I want to kill you, I don't need any reason at all. Purple lightning chop. Ziling waved the short sword and immediately burst into a dazzling purple thunder and lightning, as if surrounded by a thunder dragon. The purple thunder and lightning left the short sword and turned into the shape of a serpent, giving a strong and cold feeling. The purple thunder serpent was extremely fast, and almost in the blink of an eye, it was in front of Mo Qingyun. I'll block it. Seeing the purple thunder serpent blasted towards Mo Qingyun, Zhuomeng immediately moved and blocked in front of Mo Qingyun. She knew that some of Mo Qingyun's powerful means were not suitable to be displayed in a crowded place. Now that she was taking action for Mo Qingyun, it was the most appropriate thing to do. This would allow Mo Qingyun to hide his identity. Seeing that Zhuomeng was taking action for him, Mo Qingyun did not attack again, and a faint smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Zhuomeng's current move saved him a lot of trouble. A sharp and imposing machete appeared in Zhuomeng's hand, erupting with a burst of black, immortal spiritual power. Azura Yahweh! The machete danced in Zhuomeng's hand and immediately blasted out the black, immortal spiritual power, instantly engulfing the purple thunder serpent. The black immortal spiritual power engulfed the purple thunder serpent, and a silver light flashed, splitting the black immortal spiritual power into two. At the same time, the purple thunder serpent that was engulfed by the black immortal spiritual power was also cut in half in an instant. Zhuomeng, you're actually protecting him. Seeing that her full strength attack had been neutralized by Zhuomeng, Ziling immediately became angry and said, This kid insulted you before. Why are you still protecting him? Were you deceived by his flowery words? Shut up. Hearing Ziling's words, Zhuomeng was furious and a layer of frost appeared on her pretty face. In her opinion, Ziling's words were clearly a form of humiliation. Although Zhuomeng was furious, she did not attack again and only glared coldly at Ziling. If I remember correctly, when we first entered the Sacred Medicine Valley, Zhuomeng seemed to want to kill Mo Qingyun. That's right, Zhuomeng didn't want to kill Mo Qingyun at that time. I didn't expect her to protect Mo Qingyun now. Mo Qingyun is really something. He actually made the woman who wanted to kill him protect him. Awesome. I'm more curious about what Mo Qingyun did to Zhuomeng to make her change her attitude so drastically. Do you even need to ask? Of course it's that. Huh. You've exposed your true nature. Looking at the scene in front of them, for a while, the people around them were talking and laughing. Mo Qingyun did not care about the words of the people around him. He looked at Ziling indifferently and said, "With your ability, even if Zhuangming doesn't do anything, you can't do anything to me. You'd better not waste your energy." Listening to Mo Qingyun's words, Ziling immediately became furious. She gritted her teeth and shouted, "Boy, don't get too carried away. If you have the ability, come out and fight with me. I guarantee that you won't survive more than 3 moves." Mo Qingyun did not argue with Ziling's proud words. He just smiled meaningfully. Chapter 1919. Compared to Mo Qingyun's indifference, Zhuangming, who was next to him, had a look of disdain on her face. She had experienced Mo Qingyun's strength many times and knew how terrifying it was. If Mo Qingyun went all out with Ziling's strength, she would not be able to survive more than 3 moves. Boom, boom, boom. While Mo Qingyun and Zhuangming were confronting each other, the ground suddenly shook violently, attracting everyone's attention. Immediately after, everyone saw the blue jade medicine crystal palace rising from the ground bit by bit. When the blue jade medicine crystal palace was about 100 meters above the ground, it stopped rising. When the blue jade medicine crystal palace stopped rising, drops of blue liquid appeared at the bottom of the blue jade medicine crystal palace. The blue liquid contained rich, immortal spiritual power, no less than the herbs used to refine 7-star immortal elixirs. This is the blue jade medicine crystal. Looking at the medicine drops at the bottom of the blue jade medicine crystal palace, Missouri Qingyun's face immediately lit up as he recognized what those medicine drops were. When Mo Qingyun recognized the medicine drops, some people also recognized them and flew toward the blue jade medicine crystal. When they arrived near the blue jade medicine crystal, they took out jade bottles and tried to collect the blue jade medicine crystal. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. While these people were collecting the blue jade medicine crystal, icy blue icicles suddenly appeared at the bottom of the blue jade medicine crystal palace. Immediately after, the icicles blasted these people and turned them into ice sculptures. Swoosh, one by one, the ice sculptures fell to the ground with a crisp sound and turned into meat scraps. Seeing such a scene, everyone's eyes widened and fear appeared on their faces. Fortunately, they were not in a hurry to collect it. Otherwise, they would most likely end up like this. It seems that if I want to collect the blue jade medicine crystal, I will need to use the elixir recipe. Seeing the fate of those people in front of him, Mo Qingyun had an epiphany and slowly flew toward the blue jade medicine crystal palace. Seeing Mo Qingyun flying toward the blue jade medicine crystal palace, the surrounding people trembled and looked at Mo Qingyun in shock. Is this guy crazy? Didn't he see what happened to those people? Let him take the lead and find a way to collect the blue jade dew. That way, we can make our move later. If this kid dares to do this, he must have made a huge discovery. Let's observe for a while before making a move. The surrounding people sneered, each of them harboring evil intentions in their hearts. Very soon, Mo Qingyun arrived below the blue jade medicine crystal palace under everyone's gazes. Arriving at the bottom of the blue jade medicine crystal palace, he took out a pill formula and began to collect the blue jade crystal dew. Very quickly, drops of sparkling and translucent blue medicinal droplets flew into the pill formula. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the surrounding people were all dejected, their moods falling to rock bottom. After half a day, Mo Qingyun's method of collecting the blue jade do turn out to be through pill formulas. If they had the pill formula, why would they wait until now? They would have already taken it. Clang. Just as everyone was feeling depressed in their hearts, a loud noise was suddenly heard from the blue jade medicine crystal palace's front door. Then, everyone saw the blue jade medicine crystal palace's front door slowly move to the sides. Soon, The blue jade medicine crystal palace's front door opened, and rich medicinal spiritual energy drifted out from within. What rich medicinal spiritual energy? There must be a miraculous elixir in the blue jade medicine crystal palace. Sensing the medicinal spiritual energy drifting out from the blue jade medicine crystal palace, the surrounding people were all overjoyed, and greed flashed in their eyes. Then, they no longer hesitated and immediately flew towards the blue jade medicine crystal palace's front door. When they arrived at the blue jade medicine crystal palace's front door, two glowing blue crystals suddenly appeared in everyone's line of sight. Under everyone's gaze, the two glowing blue crystals turned into two young men in blue robes. The strength of these two young men in blue robes was not particularly strong. They were only at the 7th level of the 9 heavens Xian immortal realm. With the strength of these people in front of them, it was not too difficult to deal with the two of them. Blue jade crystal spirit embryo. If you refine this thing, your cultivation will rise by a small level. Looking at the two young men in blue robes in front of the door, someone immediately recognized their origin, and the greed in their eyes became stronger. Then, they no longer hesitated and immediately attacked the two young men in blue robes. Humph! Seeing everyone's actions, Ling snorted coldly and joined the others to deal with the two young men in blue robes. Mo Qingyun did not care about the actions of the people in front of him. He looked indifferently at the palace and said to himself, "This blue jade medicine crystal palace is an ancient alchemy sect. I wonder if there is some saint blood left in the blue jade medicine crystal palace." Compared to the blue jade medicine crystal spirit embryo, Mo Qingyun cared more about the saint blood. It was related to refining the nirvana elixir of creation. Let's go directly into the palace. Mo Qingyun glanced at the interior of the palace. He told Zhuomeng and flew directly into the palace. Now that the two blue jade medicine crystal spirit embryos guarding the door had been besieged by everyone, no one stopped Mo Qingyun's group. Immediately, Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng entered the blue jade medicine crystal palace without any obstruction. Mo Qingyun has entered the blue jade medicine crystal palace. Let's go in immediately, lest he snatches the treasure away. For me, nothing is more precious than the blue jade medicine crystal spirit embryo. I won't give up on it. Forget it. With so many people snatching the blue jade medicine crystal spirit embryo, the chances of getting it are too small. I'd better go in and take a look. If there is such a treasure at the entrance, the treasures inside must be even more precious. I'm going in too. In a short while, more than half of the people rushed into the blue jade medicine crystal palace. Mo Qingyun did not pay attention to the people who followed behind him and continued to go deeper into the palace with Zhuomeng. After flying for a while, Mo Qingyun found that the blue jade medicine crystal palace was very spacious, like an independent small world. As Mo Qingyun continued to go deeper, blue spiritual herbs, blue trees, and blue rockeries and pavilions entered their sight one after another. Not long after, independent courtyard appeared before Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng's eyes. In these courtyards, there were formations set up to prevent others from rashly breaking in. It seemed that if they wanted to enter these courtyards, they had to break these formations first. Let's go to that courtyard. Glancing at these courtyards, Mo Qingyun quickly chose one and flew toward it with Zhuomeng. Although this courtyard wasn't the largest, it had the most spirit arrays, and its defenses were also the tightest. Chapter 1920. There are so many arrays in this courtyard. I'm afraid the two of us won't be able to break them. Zhuomeng frowned as she gazed at the formation in the courtyard. Worry arose in her heart. She said, "Even if we break through the formation, it'll take a lot of time. Wouldn't that be a little too risky?" "Don't worry. We don't have to destroy the arrays. I'll just break them." Hearing Zhuomeng's worried words, Mo Qingyun smiled and waved his hand to comfort her. Then, Mo Qingyun turned his attention to the arrays and began to analyze them. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Zhuomeng couldn't help but be slightly stunned. She revealed a surprised expression and said, Mo Qingyun, for what you said just now, could it be that you also know about formations? Didn't you learn alchemy from the elixir demon? In Zhuomeng's opinion, it was a myth that Mo Qingyun could become a 7-star celestial alchemist at his bone age. If he had the time to study arrays, it was too illogical. It was not something a human could do. Can't celestial alchemists know arrays? Looking at the shocked Zhuomeng, Mo Qingyun shook his head with a smile. He did not think there was anything wrong with it. After replying to Zhuomeng, Mo Qingyun looked at the arrays again and continued to analyze them. After observing for a while, Mo Qingyun found that the arrays were not as high level as he had imagined. It was just that these arrays were complicated. They were made up of many low-level arrays. It would be very difficult to break them. It's good that they are not high-level arrays. After discovering that they were not high-level arrays, Mo Qingyun relaxed and put down all his worries. For Mo Qingyun, if the arrays were too high-level, he might not be able to break them. However, as long as he was given enough time, he could still decipher all of these combined formations. After observing for a while, Mo Qingyun waved his finger in the air and quickly drew array runes. Fuse. After drawing the runes one by one, Mo Qingyun pointed at them and immediately sent them into the formation. The moment Mo Qingyun's rune entered the array formation, it merged perfectly with the array formation. Following that, the formation was fully activated, revealing the circulation routes of the formation inscriptions. He actually knows about formations, and his attainments in formations are not low. Seeing Mo Qingyun's current performance, Zhuomeng was shocked. She thought her eyes were playing tricks on her. She didn't dare to believe that a person with such monstrous talent in alchemy could also be equally astonishingly talented in arrays. Mo Qingyun was completely unaware of his shock in Zhuomeng's heart. Currently, he was completely immersed in breaking the array. Appear. Mo Qingyun continued to observe the array formation for a while. His understanding of array formations immediately became more thorough. Following that, Mo Qingyun drew array runes and sent them into the array formation. After a while, Mo Qingyun broke the array formation. Everything was under Mo Qingyun's control. Let's go in. After breaking the array formation, Mo Qingyun instructed Zhuomeng and walked into the array formation. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, Zhuomeng didn't hesitate and immediately followed him into the array formation. After Mo Qingyun entered the array formation, he didn't waste any time and began to observe other arrays. Following that, Mo Qingyun studied the array formation and time passed by slowly. As time passed, Mo Qingyun became more and more familiar with the array formation. He broke one array formation after another. Not only that, but Mo Qingyun's speed of breaking the array formation was also increasing. Mo Qingyun's speed of breaking the array formation seems to be getting faster. Zhuomeng's eyes widened when she realized that something was wrong with Mo Qingyun. She found it hard to believe. At that moment, a thought that made her tremble rapidly grew in Zhuomeng's heart. Could it be that Mo Qingyun is constantly improving his understanding of array formations while breaking these array formations? When Zhuomeng thought of this, the shock in her heart immediately intensified. If that was really the case, Mo Qingyun's comprehension ability was too terrifying. Following that, under Zhuomeng's shocked gaze, Mo Qingyun broke the array formation one after another. After an unknown period of time, Mo Qingyun stopped what he was doing. At that moment, the scene in front of the two of them changed drastically. They appeared in a secluded small courtyard, surrounded by gardens that were filled with spiritual energy. All kinds of precious immortal herbs were planted there. This is the bright moon blue stargrass. Mo Qingyun scanned the garden and quickly recognized the type of immortal herb. His face was filled with excitement as he walked out. Then, Mo Qingyun took out a pill formula and prepared to collect the bright moon blue stargrass. Collect! Under Mo Qingyun's urging, the pill formula immediately glowed and collected the bright moon blue stargrass. However, to Mo Qingyun's surprise, No matter how he urged the pill formula, the bright moon blue star grass did not react at all. How can this be? Seeing this situation, Mo Qingyun was immediately puzzled. He did not understand what was wrong. Previously, outside the Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Palace, he collected the Blue Jade Crystal do like this. Logically speaking, there should be no problem. Could it be then the Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Palace? We don't need a pill formula to collect the immortal herbs? Mo Qingyun's mind spun quickly. He guessed the general reason and decided to let the ghost try first. There was no other way. The Sacred Medicine Valley was filled with danger. He did not dare to try it himself and risk his life. Soon, a first level 9 Heavens Xian Immortal Realm ghost appeared beside Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun summoned the ghost and ordered it to directly collect the bright moon blue star grass. After receiving Mo Qingyun's order, the ghost immediately walked into the garden and began to collect the bright moon blue star grass. Under the ghost collection, the bright moon blue star grass was immediately collected and did not cause any commotion. It's really like this. Seeing this scene, Mo Qingyun immediately revealed a joyful expression. The guess in his heart was verified. Looks like I was being paranoid. So the Blue Jade Medicine Crystal Palace's garden does not have any protective formation at all. After this discovery, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and immediately began to collect the various medicinal herbs. It's too slow like this. I have to think of a faster way. Mo Qingyun collected for a moment and revealed a pondering expression, thinking about how to increase the efficiency. Chapter 1921. Get up. Since Mo Qingyun had decided to take the garden away, Zhuoming didn't hesitate and immediately moved the garden away. With Mo Qingyun's help, a garden flew up from the ground and disappeared from Zhuoming's sight. Zhuoming was dumbfounded by Mo Qingyun's actions. She was rooted to the spot. Mo Qingyun's actions were truly too ruthless. Not only did he harvest the immortal herbs here, he even took the entire garden away. After around an hour, Mo Qingyun finally stopped moving. A bright smile appeared on his face. After looting the garden, he had basically collected all the materials he needed to refine the Genesis Fire Emperor Flame Golden Pill. What he needed to do next was to gather all of the materials that were extremely rare. All right, let's go in. After taking the garden away, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and said to Zhuoming. Mo Qingyun gave Zhuoming a heads up. He led the way into the courtyard to look for other treasures. Before long, Mo Qingyun and Zhuoming arrived at a storeroom. They saw many precious materials. The treasures in this storeroom were many times more precious than the immortal herbs and herbs in the garden. Such dense blood qi. Is there sacred blood here? Mo Qingyun stood in the storeroom. He immediately became excited when he sensed the blood qi. Then, Mo Qingyun sensed the blood qi and searched for the precious blood in the storeroom. Before long, Mo Qingyun came before a shelf. He sensed a cold aura. He scanned the shelf and discovered the source of the cold aura was a small silver bottle. Such a powerful aura. It's like an ancient beast. Mo Qingyun was shocked when he saw the small silver bottle. His anticipation grew even stronger. He said, "It still has such a powerful aura even after being stored for so many years. The blood in this bottle is extremely likely to be the blood of a saint beast. I wonder what kind of saint beast it is." With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun picked up the small silver bottle with a strong sense of anticipation. Holding the small silver bottle in his hand, Mo Qingyun opened the cap and checked the blood inside. Roar! As soon as the bottle was opened, a terrifying beast aura radiated from the bottle. At the same time, a terrifying force of ice spread to Mo Qingyun's arm. Mo Qingyun, how are you? Zhuoming was worried when she saw Mo Qingyun's appearance. She immediately asked Mo Qingyun. Hearing Zhuoming's words of concern, Mo Qingyun smiled and waved his hand. I'm fine. Don't come too close to avoid being invaded by the cold aura. Mo Qingyun replied Zhuoming. He then observed the blood in the small silver bottle to see what kind of sacred beast it came from. Such a powerful force of ice and such a powerful tiger aura. It should be its blood. Mo Qingyun observed the blood for a while. He had a clear idea of the origin of the blood. If I'm not wrong, this blood should be from the profound ice white tiger. Although it's not the blood of a sacred beast, it should be able to replace the blood of a sacred beast to refine elixirs. With that thought, Mo Qingyun put away the profound ice white tiger's blood with a happy expression. After storing the profound ice white tiger's blood, Mo Qingyun didn't stop there. He continued to loot the other things in the storage room. Zhuomeng wasn't interested in these things, so she didn't take any action. She just silently watched Mo Qingyun from the side. Mo Qingyun didn't say anything about Zhuomeng's lack of action. He silently took away the items one by one. During this time, Mo Qingyun obtained several types of blood, but none of them were the blood he needed. These blood are quite powerful. I can use them to exchange for the blood I need. After storing the powerful blood, Mo Qingyun had a plan in mind. He had figured out how to use them. The storage room wasn't particularly big. Under Mo Qingyun's crazy looting, it quickly became empty. Let's get out of here. After taking away everything in the storage room, Mo Qingyun didn't want to stay any longer. He immediately told Zhuomeng. Then, Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng left the storage room together. Coming out of the storage room, Mo Qingyun's footsteps didn't stop. He left the courtyard with Zhuomeng. When Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng left the courtyard, they saw Ziling not far away. She just happened to come out of another courtyard. Sensing Mo Qingyun and Zhuomeng's gaze, Ziling looked over with a sneer. Her eyes were full of gloomy color. Looking at Ziling's performance, he must have obtained great benefits in that particular courtyard. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, when Mo Qingyun looked at Ziling, the blue jade medicine crystal palace suddenly shook. Then, Mo Qingyun saw a dazzling light appear in the blue jade medicine crystal palace. As soon as this light appeared, the entire blue jade medicine crystal palace was illuminated and attracted everyone's attention. What is that? Is some treasure unearthed? That's most likely the case. For a treasure to be able to cause such a commotion, it must be extraordinary. Do you think that this shining treasure could be the myriad transformation medicine crystal furnace? I don't rule out this possibility. If I get the myriad transformation medicine crystal furnace, then this trip is really worth it. Looking at the light getting stronger and stronger, everyone whispered, and their eyes flashed with strong greed. Under everyone's expectant gaze, the light finally dimmed slowly, revealing its true appearance. Then, a huge blue cauldron appeared in everyone's sight. This is the myriad transformation medicine crystal furnace, the treasure of the blue jade medicine crystal palace. Snatch it. If you get the myriad transformation medicine crystal furnace, cultivation will not be a problem in the future. How dare you snatch the myriad transformation medicine crystal furnace from me? Go to hell. Chapter 1922. After reminding Zhuomeng, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and tried to snatch the furnace. Shadow Dragon Transformation. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, and his body began to change. In the blink of an eye, he had turned into the form of a shadow dragon. Mo Qingyun transformed into the form of a shadow dragon. His figure flashed and began to rotate around the crowd. Judging from the current situation, the tool spirit of the myriad transformation medicine crystal furnace was desperately resisting the crowd's control. Mo Qingyun may not be able to subdue the myriad transformation medicine crystal furnace at this time, so it was not a good time to make a move. A kid at the almighty celestial stage wants to get his hands on the myriad transformation medicine crystal furnace. When Ziling saw Mo Qingyun's move, his face turned cold, and he flew toward Mo Qingyun. Looking at his posture, it seemed like he wanted to make a move on Mo Qingyun, planning to kill Mo Qingyun here and now. Kid died. Ziling came in front of Mo Qingyun. He waved the short sword in his hand and slashed toward Mo Qingyun. Under Ziling's sword, a domineering purple thunder and lightning slashed toward Mo Qingyun. Seeing Ziling's sword, Mo Qingyun did not meet it head-on. Instead, he quickly dodged. Soon, Ziling's domineering sword was easily avoided by Mo Qingyun. Oof. Now that Zhuomeng is gone, you can't escape from my grasp. Seeing Mo Qingyun avoid his attack, Ziling did not stop. He relentlessly pursued Mo Qingyun. Ziling's figure flashed and came in front of Mo Qingyun. Once again, he slashed at Mo Qingyun. Soon, an even more domineering sword light slashed toward Mo Qingyun. Got it. Seeing that Ziling was about to attack him, Mo Qingyun's eyes lit up, and he came up with a plan. If he rashly approached the Myriad Transformation's medicinal crystal furnace, he would inevitably arouse everyone's hostility and instantly become the target of public criticism. If he had been near the Myriad Evolution's medicinal crystal furnace while dodging Ziling's attack, he would not have been so conspicuous. In the eyes of many people, Mo Qingyun's actions were probably unintentional. As Mo Qingyun thought of this, he began to try, slowly approaching the Myriad Transformation's medicinal crystal furnace. As expected, no one was on guard against Mo Qingyun's actions. Not only that, but when Mo Qingyun approached the Myriad Transformation medicinal crystal furnace, Ziling's attack followed. Ziling's attack followed closely and immediately made the scene even more chaotic, making everyone even less aware of Mo Qingyun. It really works. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun was immediately overjoyed, and a bright smile appeared on his face. In this way, he would have to thank Ziling for creating an opportunity for him to get close to the Myriad Transformation's medicinal crystal furnace. Next, Mo Qingyun dodged Ziling's attacks while looking for the best time to strike. After talking with Mo Qingyun for a while, Zhuomeng asked for Mo Qingyun's opinion. Hearing Zhuomeng's words, Mo Qingyun turned his head to look at the five elements mountain and smiled faintly. Since we're here, we naturally have to collect alchemy materials. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he got up and walked into the five elements mountain to collect the medicinal herbs he needed. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, Zhuomeng followed and continued to accompany Mo Qingyun in collecting alchemy materials. In the following days, Zhuomeng accompanied Mo Qingyun to collect divine herbs in various places in the Sacred Medicine Valley. What surprised Mo Qingyun was that he didn't encounter any danger in the following days. The Sacred Medicine Valley, which used to be extremely dangerous, seemed to have become a peaceful paradise in the blink of an eye. Mo Qingyun was happy to see this, as it allowed him to collect alchemy materials with peace of mind. Half a month passed like this, and Mo Qingyun finally gathered all the materials needed to refine the Genesis Fire to Imperial Flame Golden Pill. Although he had collected all the alchemy materials, Mo Qingyun didn't stop there and continued to collect other divine herbs. He still had more than 40 pill recipes in his hands, so he could collect some alchemy materials. Time passed quickly, and in the blink of an eye, the 1-month trial period was over. With the end of the trial period in the Sacred Medicine Valley, Mo Qingyun and the others were sent out and headed to the location of the second round of assessment. Mo Qingyun, just you wait. On the way to the location of the alchemy competition, Ziling walked up to Mo Qingyun's side and threw out a harsh sentence with a gloomy face. During this time, the other people's gazes towards Mo Qingyun were mixed with a hint of gloominess. Qingyun, what happened in the Sacred Medicine Valley? Why does everyone seem to hate you so much? Seeing the reactions of the people around him, Guiyang asked Mo Qingyun with a concerned expression. He could see that everyone who came out of the Sacred Medicine Valley harbored murderous intent towards Mo Qingyun. If he wasn't mistaken, Mo Qingyun should have become the target of everyone in the Sacred Medicine Valley. Thinking of this, Guyang couldn't help but feel nervous. He was curious about what Mo Qingyun had done. Nothing much. I just stole their treasures. In response to Guyang's question, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and didn't show the slightest bit of worry. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, what was to come would come, so there was no point in him worrying. Now that he was out of the sacred medicine valley and had the pill demon as his backing, what was there to be afraid of? If things didn't work out, he could give the myriad medicinal crystal furnace to the pill demon. No one would dare to steal it from him. You just stole their treasures?